What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 8. Oh my goodness, we're cooking, possibly getting close to the end of the train arc, and it's some good. Now, I know that y'all missed an episode last week, so we're gonna have double up this week. On Wednesday, you're gonna get episode 9 before we stream episode 10. If you don't catch it, you should. We stream it live on my Twitch channel, and it's really cool and fun, and you should be there. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Peace out.
Would anyone like to give a quick? I can give a quick recap. It's been a while for people.
I think I got
Fucking
it.
better believe I don't remember shit.
We defeated the goblins in a pretty good fashion, although it was kind of high rolling from both sides. So we actually ended up with probably less health than we thought we did. But regardless, we kind of defeated them. One escaped. The deep elves came to show us how really deep they were.
We don't know they're deep elves. That is important to know.
Well, no, he told us later on.
Oh, that's right. He said probably deep elves.
We
right.
described them, and they're probably deep elves. They don't leave their land. But they're going after a criminal that uses a certain type of poison and whatnot. We then came back to the train to make that a bit shorter, discovered that people went out. There was a dead body, probably bandits, then wolves is the kind of prognosis. Then I believe Vera questioned Sergeant Eater about it a bit more, kind of spilled the beans on who we were, what we're doing, the whole shebang, really. And
I forgot I did that. Fuck.
Just to be a little more specific, Vera told Sergeant Eater basically about your guys' investigation. She has not let it slip yet that you guys are Outworlders. She implied that you guys. She implied that you guys were working for the Shadow Legion, which Sergeant Eater was more than happy to sort of gobble up. It seems like he has an inclination to not think much of the Shadow Legion.
Yeah.
She told him about your investigation, though, for sure.
Yeah, and then I think Stark was the one that like saw something he shouldn't have, and then good nat 20 on that one, and proceeded to also give me a nat 20 because I was listening in, that he knew something he wasn't supposed to know. Sergeant Eater then, I guess to follow chronologically, Rachel goes into Axel's room. Rachel's like, I love you, Axel. Please marry me. Axel doesn't know what to do about this.
She didn't say marry. All right, she just said love.
Because he's gay secretly. That
could be or could not be. We don't know.
I think it's pretty blatant. Anyway, after that happens, and Sergeant Eater knocks on Vera's door, and he's like, "Hey, yo, he's dead as fuck," and that's where we're at.
Word for word what Sergeant Eater said, by the way.
Yeah, he said, excuse me, homegirl.
He dead as fuck Lamau.
Dead AF Lamau waffle.
Word for word.
That may
man
or
has
not
a
have
way
been
with
the actual words, but definitely the sentiment. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, so I was just gonna say, before we start, God have mercy on me this time, because the more I talk, the worse the cough gets. I'll do my best.
Sure. I mean, we'll do what we can. In any case, so Sergeant Eater, he knocked on Vera's door and informed her through the door that Michael Stark is dead. Lily and Axel, Lily will just hear this. Axel, you can go ahead and make a Constitution check.
Okay.
Let's see if you're
awake. I was just sleeping, right? There was no other things that I know of right now. Okay.
Yeah, but you're a little farther away is the only thing. Than Lily.
Yeah, gotcha. You said a check, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
All in 9, let's go team.
So yeah, actually, you do wake up, and you catch the tail end of Eater saying,
"Sorry,
Stark is dead."
The other thing that's also fairly important to note is that Axel knows Vera's lying about something and told Lily.
Yes. So,
oh yeah, because we don't know what she's technically told Sergeant yet. That's right.
And
we know she's sussy. We know she's an imposter on something.
Right. So Endel told Axel that Vera and Eater had a weird conversation where Eater seemed like he was about to, throw down, but it calmed down a lot after that. So Axel isn't entirely sure what to make of that.
That's right, dude. Axel's fucking in the trenches right now. Okay. All right.
Yes. In any case.
Flirting.
Okay. So does Rachel wake up when I wake up, or is she sleeping?
She is still asleep.
Okay, hearing the dead information, I think he would definitely react somewhat hastily and try to get out of the bed, but would try to not wake Rachel up to get out.
Okay. You can go make a stealth check with advantage.
Okay. Dude,
Wait, seriously?
Oh my god.
Theme.
Oh my god. Y'all don't
And
understand.
falls
I'm
on
gonna
his
do it.
face
I'm
and
gonna
goes,
do it.
"Fuck."
I'm gonna, that's it. It's Minecraft time, baby. It's Minecraft time. This is wild.
I think it's probably just, it's worth it to just
There's no way.
hang up the
There's
code
no
at this
way.
point.
This isn't real.
Minecraft time, baby. Wow, what a sentence.
Oh.
Yeah, so Axel very like slowly, sneakily, but you know how like your foot gets caught in the covers like at the last moment. As you try to dry your leg out, and yet you like thump against the wall. I'll say with a nat 1, Lily, you hear this too, and Sergeant Eater's like his eyes dart towards Axel's door as well.
You gave me advantage. What the fuck?
Rachel does wake up. She are you okay, Axel? And like, there's a sharp knock at your door.
Oh, dude,
And you hear
okay.
Sergeant Eater say, "Is everything okay in there?"
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me collect myself that I just doubled that one on advantage. Holy shit. I'm gonna cry. Okay. Yeah, I excuse me. Okay, so being on the ground right now, looking up, I look up at Rachel. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to get up without waking you. And I turn to the door immediately. Don't even wait for a response from her. I'm like, oh, we're fine. I was trying to get up and tripped. It's okay. Oh my god.
Sergeant Eater will attempt to open the door. I assume it's probably locked though.
I mean, I don't know. I never explicitly said I locked it. I don't know.
I mean, unless you say otherwise, I would probably.
I more than likely would have locked the door. Yes.
Yeah, you hear the handle jiggle. He says, "Just let me in, please. I'd like to double check, make sure everyone's okay in there."
Oh my god, I hate him. Okay, I will go to the door. Yeah, I'll kind of do this, and I do the good old like open it with just just as little as possible to like kind of poke my head out.
Yeah, as soon as you open the door a little bit, he takes it and opens it completely.
Oh no, I was literally gonna say I brace it, thinking he was gonna do that. God damn it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can make an athletics check if you want.
Okay.
Another nat 1. Come on, baby.
I also, what is, by the way, I'm assuming me and Rachel are clothed and everything, right? Like, we're good, because we just fell asleep and we're chilling.
I mean, she's probably in her undergarments. I mean, she's not like naked or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not like fully clothed.
Okay. You said athletics?
Yes.
Oh, man.
All right, again.
7-1-1-7. You said again? Oh, did you roll a 12, motherfucker?
Yep. Okay. So he tries to like force the door open a little bit. You stop him. He looks at you and says, "There's been an incident. I need to make sure that everyone's all right."
Yeah. As he kind of nudges the door and says this, oh man. I just look at him like, oh, okay, that like I promise we're good in here. We will be out in like literally 5 minutes. Just let me get dressed.
Rachel kind of like gets up from the bed and like sticks her head into the door frame as well and says, "Yeah, everything's okay, Sergeant Eater. We're all fine in here." Sergeant Eater, seeing the two of you kind of collaborating with each other's stories, he nods and sort of continues back down the hall. He'll knock on Lily's door next, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, I will just shut the door and get ready at that point, like start, dressing.
Yeah, Rachel's kind of doing the same. Does Lily open the door?
Yeah.
He says, "Hello, Miss Lily." And he repeats. He says, "So Michael Stark, there's been an incident. He appears to be dead. Is everything okay in your room? Just you and Noir, right?"
Just us two for now? Yes. We two?
All right. And he continues down. I suppose at this point, Vera would have opened the door.
Yeah.
He looks over at you and repeats it. He says, "I'd recommend getting ready for the day and getting your fellow constables together. I'll check on the rest of the passengers while you're doing that."
Great. Sergeant Eater, how exactly did you stumble upon Stark?
He frowns and he says, we can get into that in a little bit. You
Ah.
get you and your team together. We need to make sure that everyone's all right first, then we can discuss.
All right, where do you want us to meet up? Where does he want us to meet up?
He says, just this train car. We're going to be keeping everyone in place.
All right.
And yeah, he opens the door, checks on Buffer Light Eye, comes back out, closes it. He continues checking on each of the doors. You hear like little bits of discussion from each of the individuals in each of the rooms. Joseph Wallach's door, once he opens that and explains the situation, Wallach he kind of pushes him aside and runs out of the compartment.
Nice.
Yeah. Eater, like it looks like Eater's like thinking about stopping him, but does not. Decides against it.
Can I poke my head in and look at Michael Stark?
Sure. He is in his bed, underneath the covers.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to like go and like see what's what.
So there's no blood on the covers or anything.
Nope. There's no like rise and fall of the covers to indicate breathing. If it wasn't for that, you would just assume that he's sleeping peacefully.
Huh. And there's no noticeable injuries, at least from what I can see. Neck up.
You can only
Looks
see,
normal.
you can only see neck up, but yeah, no obvious injuries.
Okay, can I just, lightly peel back the cover, see what's going on here?
Sure. He's in like his night garments, like a little pajama or whatever. There's no obvious blood or injury.
No noticeable blood. Okay. Great. Shit. Have we tried sensing spirit mana before?
On occasion.
Do we have specifically spirit mana or just regular?
I don't know. I can't recall if you specifically tried to look for spirit mana or not. In any case, I mean, you can use your mana sense to try to reach out and get what read you can if you'd like.
Bada boom. Not getting a read with that, goddamn.
You're kind of feeling a little flustered right now. It's kind of chaotic in this compartment with Eater like talking with people and people moving around, freaking out a little bit. You can't really get anything significant. There's a lot of overlap too, which is making it difficult.
I guess I nod at Lily and I go, well, care to give it a try to sense spirit mana from him?
I imagine it is no longer there, but we should adhere to Mr. Eater's orders before.
Yeah. At this point, Eater comes over and he says, "All right, I've checked on all the other passengers. Everyone seems to be okay, from what I can tell. I will say I informed all of them to stay inside of their cabins until further notice. Additionally, Alma was the one who actually discovered Mr. Stark. She came to check on him a little bit earlier. I heard her messing with the door. I came outside and we discovered him like that. I told her to inform the conductors. I imagine they're probably sealing themselves off right now, and I told the servants to stay in their area until further notice as well."
All right. Well, let's finish the group. I go to Axel's door. And
I was like, yeah, I may have been out by now. I don't know what the timing would be.
Sure.
And I'd imagine what I kind of like give Rachel the lowdown as to what I'd heard of like, hey, this guy is apparently dead, and they clearly need us to go help with stuff.
Okay.
So she
Rachel
understands
says,
why everyone's so hectic.
As you explain this to her, she says, "Oh, okay. Would you mind if I stay in your cabin?"
No, I mean, you do whatever, keeps you comfortable for now, but I'll have to go out and help, so I should be back later.
Sure, no problem. I mean, I'll lock the door, but obviously just let me know that you're there and I'll open it again.
Yeah, of course. And I will go ahead and chicka-boop. And chicka-boop.
Can I try to
get a sense for Rachel's mana?
Sure.
We're doing great.
So,
Hey, we're doing great,
similar to
team.
Vera, it's kind of chaotic right now. It's a little hard to like focus, like double down,
Good
and
answer,
also there's
good
a lot of people around with fairly strong mana. Yourself, Axel, and Vera, not least of which. She feels kind of normal. Nothing particularly special or noteworthy.
Yeah, I mean, I just come out and I'm like, so, what is going on?
Well,
It appears there has been a murder.
We don't know that. Sergeant Eater speaks up. He says, I would consider possibly some. He was sick last night, Michael Stark, I believe, and he might have just, sicknesses can strike quickly and mercilessly, particularly in this land with very few people to deal with it.
But of course. Okay, so it might have also been sickness.
Correct. Sergeant Eater, he gives Vera a pretty obvious look. He thinks he's being subtle, but both Axel and Lily kind of notice.
Can I make an insight to see how
I
much I
was
noticed?
wondering what he was trying with that.
Sure. You can make an insight check.
Yeah, I was like, if Axel sees Sergeant Eater doing that, he would probably try to figure out what he thinks he's doing over there.
Sure, you can make an insight check too.
Dude,
Oh
I hate this game with a burning passion.
Not on that one. Alright, chill the fuck out.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my
Unnatural.
mind.
Unnatural.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my
Could've been a zero.
mind. Oh, I'm gonna lose
So
my
Axel,
mind.
you're very
I lost
distracted.
connection
You're
again.
having a rough time.
I am
Lily,
having a rough time, thank you.
you do get the sense that Eater is kind of trying to indicate to Vera that they should keep everyone calm and not alert anyone that of the suspicion of it being a murder right now. That's kind of what Eater's trying to communicate.
Sneaky. Okay. I play
lost
along.
connection for a second. What did you roll, Blane?
It's not important.
Not important.
Aw.
Not on that one.
Oh,
Not on that one.
I rolled a 2, but I have -1, so it was an unnatural one.
It was a 1.
incredible. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Hey, you kept the door closed, so try to see it.
But in any case, Eater continues. He says, my plan, I'm not an investigator. I'm a warrior. I'm going to just be walking down back and forth in this train compartment and keeping everyone safe here until we get to Duran. That's my plan. If you three, obviously proven to be trustworthy and capable constables, if you're comfortable investigating this issue, of course, you have my full encouragement and permission to do so. Otherwise, if you don't want to, you can always stay in your cabin along with everyone else. That's fine as well.
Yeah, Axel really wanting to go see the body, knowing there was weird shit going on, steps forward immediately. Is like, yeah, I am more than willing and would like to investigate this. And starts immediately walking to the door.
Sure. Eater, like I said, he'll be patrolling back and forth. I won't literally be moving him, but just know that he's always patrolling back and forth in this cabin until further notice.
All right. Axel doesn't really care about crime scene etiquette, and we'll just go ahead and pull the covers off.
Okay. Sure. So, like I said, it's Michael Stark sleeping. It looks like he would be sleeping, but he's not breathing. His face is a little bit pale. His skin. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to start at least removing clothing where would be common spots of like around the neck to see if there was any struggle or choking, any body blows, right? Things like that, bruises, stuff like that. Basically looking for anything on the body that shows physical
Okay.
altercations. That'd be
Would one of your companions like to help you with this investigation?
Axel's instinct.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and help him
Okay.
with it.
With the three of you, it's a little bit crowded with three of you in there, but you can go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage, Axel.
Don't roll a 1. Don't roll a 1.
Dude, this is crazy.
Oh.
With advantage. God damn. Was that another one?
Yeah, with the 10, there's no obvious. Like I said, it just looked like he passed away peacefully in his sleep. There's no.
Two things. Lily would like to mana sense Stark and see if there's any corruption and or just complete lack thereof, as well as Nora would like to do cat shit and maybe see stuff that humans wouldn't see. Whether that be in crevices and or weird smells and stuff like that.
Okay. So perception, I guess, for Noir, and mana sense for Lily.
Excuse me.
Excused.
Hey, let's
Okay.
go.
I'll say with a 21, Noir does not find anything of note. You don't get the sense that there was any physical intruder in this cabin. You don't get the sense that Michael Stark was aware of what was happening. You think he probably did just literally pass away in his sleep. In terms of Lily, you do not sense anything coming from Michael Stark. There's just a black hole there.
I doubt this will give me anything, but since Vera's a doctor, can I look for any signs of sickness? Just because why not?
Sure. Yeah.
Axel will step out and be like thinking while she steps in.
21. Yeah. So you give an investigation. He was reported, he kind of pretended to be sick for Axel's benefit. You do not get the sense that he was sick at all. There's no obvious sign of. There's no inflammation of the throat, or any issue with his nasal passages or anything like that.
And when oh, sorry, continue. You're not.
I was just gonna say, there is without doing a literal autopsy, there is a limit, but there's no obvious sign of sickness.
Alright.
When Lily mana sensed, what was the answer to that one? I forgot.
Can't sense anything.
Okay. So you didn't you sensed literally nothing, or?
Well, like I said, so everyone's mana is all around Lily, so she had to kind of parse that out.
Okay.
She sensed nothing in the vicinity of Michael Stark that was specific
That
to
was
him.
super abnormal. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. And did Axel and Lily ever discuss Michael being weird? Did we have that?
We kind of did.
Because we kind of just sidebarred it, right? Of hey,
it
there's
was. I believe we had, when the kids left, we had a discussion, and you were looking.
That's right. That's right.
Things Vera being weird, but more importantly,
Okay.
since we didn't suspect anything yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think at that point, then I would definitely, looking through the door, just be like, man, I knew something was off, but man, I didn't think he was gonna die.
Can Lily or Noir make maybe a history check or something to see if they were any abnormalities during the night?
You just make an intelligence check.
Do.
1 or just 2?
You can just one with advantage, I'll say.
Okay, let me see. That's
Also, I feel like this is understood, but Vera obviously tells you guys that there's no signs of sickness for sure.
Gotcha.
Okay, with an 18, I'll say nothing woke you up last night. So if the killer was stalking around, they were being fairly stealthy.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And then, because we got the kids to give us the we wrote it down on paper. Who did he leave and come back with? It was the rich people, and someone else, right?
Would Vera like to remind everyone?
I was like, we can. I just know we got the kids to write it down, so we would have this direct information.
The kids could not.
Or sorry, we got them to tell us, and then we wrote it down. Yes.
Okay, so the order of who left and came back the other day, when you guys were still at the fueling station, was Michael Stark went out by himself. Then Joseph Wallach went out by himself. Michael Stark came back. Joseph Wallach came back, and then he left immediately after with his master Moses. That's the male nobleman. Rachel argued with Irina and left right after that. Would appear to be a fairly heated argument, at least according to the kids. Sergeant Eater left after her. Time after that, Irina left after Sergeant Eater left, and then Eater, Rachel, and Irina came back together. You get the sense after they had discovered the body was kind of the implication there. Um, and after all of that, Joseph and Moses, the nobleman, came back. And that's the extent of the kids' reporting.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I turn to the squad here. Just go, so are we wanting to for lack of a better word, interrogate it all, or maybe to put it lightly, question people?
Um. I mean, we can, but it's not no. I'm a bit stumped at the moment.
I'll say just because I'm a nice DM, all three of you can make intelligence checks.
Okay.
Or, huh? I'll leave Nora out here.
Intelligence checks.
By someone.
Dude, it's a bit at this point.
Marissa was offended.
It's just a fucking bit at this point. Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild.
Marissa said no double digits. Not my party. I'm out of here.
I am convinced that you have a setting on that makes my rolls lower. I am becoming more convinced of this every session we get through.
Dude, he weighed my dice. I think you're right.
Neither confirm nor deny.
Alright. Nora's gonna make a...
Listen, I'm saying I don't think Axel's coming up with anything with a 6. I'm saying.
Vera, it's all up to you. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
I mean...
You're gonna have to give me a second. It's reloading. My internet
Saying
is
it's all up to you is kind of bringing down my 9 a bit.
Well, wait.
Got 9
Together,
and a 6.
we do have a 6 and a 9, which is
Which
ha
is-
ha funny
It's
number.
a funny number.
And so I feel
Yeah.
that's worth something.
That's I would argue a 6 and a 9 is more rare than a 20.
True.
Mathematically.
Valid. It's weird that you're not replying to this god.
It's like we're waiting for a good roll or something.
I mean, no, I find it very funny as well.
Okay. Can Nor make an intelligence?
This
check
is so
for
frustrating because Axel's supposed to be a fucking smart person. I'm gonna throw something.
Nor only has a -3 in intelligence, but I believe in him.
Oh, that's it? A mirror?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll for Vera, so we don't take too long. Okay, so appropriate. Never mind. You guys can continue.
Oh, fuck.
Perfect. Thank you.
Ooh, didn't mean to go out. Oh, yeah, I mean, if we were to question anyone, I mean, really all we could talk to is Joseph for leaving with him the other day and just saying that we saw him leave, and maybe don't, be accusatory about it, but just ask if he knows anything, and then going off of that, seeing
well
how
as
he
the-
reacts.
As well as the workers.
Yeah, the workers as well. I mean, I suppose, it is fair to say that it could literally be almost anybody, so... and I want to be clear, too, I am trying to say these things quiet enough, because I know that people are still in their cabins and stuff, so I'm not trying to say this loudly.
And just to be on your side, Axel, Rachel did not leave your room once I left?
I mean, if she did, she got out really quietly. And the door was also locked, so I mean, she would have had to unlock the door and get out as well, which
will say
isn't impossible. Go ahead.
If it may be relevant, Rachel would have been sleeping on like the side that's closer to the wall. That's where she would have. So like she would have had to like go over you to get out of bed.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll even point that out as well then to be like, yeah, she was even sleeping far away from the door, so she's either really stealthy, which not impossible, but just unlikely, I guess.
All right. Well, anything helps, I believe.
Vera, got any ideas there?
Well, if my internet would stop being fucky, I would love to contribute to this discussion.
There's no
Is
there's
the-
no internet here, Vera. We've been over this.
What is internet? Is
Thanks. Thanks.
is the pocket watch doing anything special?
I will go ahead and pull that bad bitch out. Anything going on?
It stopped at the moment of his death.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh.
So what is?
It's ticking as normal.
Oh damn! I thought you were being serious. I was like, this is kind of
Yeah,
sick.
well,
Oh,
I was
sad.
like, that would have only done more questions and less answers, but cool.
Oh, we got
It is a mechanical pocket watch. It is not magical in nature.
Okay. Yeah. I pull it out, look at it for a second, and then show it off to both of you, being like, nothing special there.
I feel kind of bad. This man did get his watch back before he died.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't seem too worried about it there at the end. He clearly had other things on the mind. And I will pee poof it back into my inventory.
Could I, the first mana sense was with Stark himself. Could I do some sort of another mana sense, maybe to see if it was like some sort of deity or whatever it was?
Like something else in the room, not him.
I'll say that kind of counts with your previous check.
Okay.
You didn't sense anything in particular around Michael Stark either.
Oh, fair enough.
Did Axel try doing a mana sense, or was it just Lily and I?
I did
Axel
not. I did not try doing a mana sense. Axel was purely worried about like physical checkup and that kind of vibe.
Is he good at mana senses?
It doesn't hurt to try it.
I'm good at mana control. I was like, Axel just doesn't have like the forethought to be like, oh yeah, let me see if there's mana in here.
Alright, valid, my little bear. Valid. I would like to ruffle through his things. Drink flop.
So I want to. I guess at this point I'll go to Eater, and have a little chit chat with him while she's ruffling.
Okay. Quick, Lily. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Nice.
Okay. You look through. You don't find anything of particular interest. There's his papers, which involved a bunch of like business dealings, things of that nature. There's like standard, toothpaste and toothbrush. Maybe not literally that, but like standard traveling stuff. You don't find anything of particular note.
Okay.
Okay, if we figure out who the Lotus is, we need to just grip and rip the fight, because the later half of tonight, our rolls are going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Actually, you were going to do something?
I was going to go talk to Sergeant Eater and more so try to pick his brain, seeing as he's the one... Oh, actually, he did say he didn't find him dead, but just see what he knows about the situation.
Okay. So I guess Eater will like stop and like closer to your group, and he does try to speak like very quietly so that no one can overhear you guys. Yeah, he says, yeah, hit me. What questions do you have?
Well, I mean,
So
I know you had said that you didn't find him, but I mean, in your honest opinion, you've, had your fair share of bodies. I mean, does it look like there was any foul play, or does it seem like there was any foul play?
Eater sort of glances at Vera again, kind of obviously, even though he probably doesn't think it's obvious.
Axel's gonna get real annoyed real fast.
Vera just nods. Oh, the map just loaded for me. Nice. Maybe I can finally fucking play. Where's the cheater? Oh, he's
No
all the way down there.
Great strides.
Vera will just nod at him.
Okay. He will take that as an assent. He says, well, I mean, first thing I would note is that there's no fucking spirit mana coming from him.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Axel hears this and tries to... I mean, he obviously knows what that kind of means, but Axel doesn't know that he knows what that means. And so he'll try to kind of play it off and be like, oh, that's weird. I mean, I'd say anything else, but I guess that's about as weird as it gets.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, other than that, I didn't investigate the body too much. I had figured I would leave that to you guys. Was there any wounds or things of that nature?
No.
I mean, despite the whole spirit mana thing, could have been poison. it's not impossible, I guess.
That's true. I guess that would be something that probably see if the um, I don't know proper terminology. The food makers.
So the word you're looking for there is chef.
No, but not the chefs, but like all the workers in general. Like I was trying to think of an encompassing word for all of them. But we'd have to check with the workers. But yeah, physically, I mean, I like food makers too.
It would be much more funnier if you didn't think of the word chef and you were like, so the people that like the food makers.
That's why I knew chef, but I meant the servers as well. I meant all of them. But yeah, physically, I mean, he's fine from what I can tell. I mean, I'm pretty used to seeing at least physical wounds, whether bruises, cuts, things of that nature, and just none at all. No sign of any form of struggle.
Well, I'd say that it might be the work of a very unusual sort of killer then.
Yeah, more than likely. And I kind of turn. Oh, go ahead.
Out loud, I'm like, yeah, was that any physical provocation? I think maybe he succumbed to his illness. And I say this out loud, but I'm looking like almost, still playing the blind girl, but looking in Eater's direction and like shaking my head as if to indicating like that's definitely not it.
Yeah, Eater nods and he says, "Yeah, that's more than likely it." He'll continue all the same. Maybe if you could conduct interviews with people, see what, I don't know, alibis, things of that nature.
Yes, I'd like to start with Joseph, since he did run away immediately after you told him.
Yeah. Eater nods. He says, I mean, he did say that he had to go and protect his masters. But yeah, I mean, be careful. Tread lightly. If you intend it to be a confrontation, I mean, I can come along with you, but I'd rather stay here and keep everyone safe here.
Yeah, I think you staying is fine. I think it doesn't send a good message if we're walking around with 4 people trying to ask questions. I turn to the other two. So do we want to split up and ask questions, or run it together?
If I may, I'd recommend you guys stay together for safety's sake.
Yeah, safety wise, I think it might give the wrong impression if someone is suspicious of us, but we can definitely try nonetheless.
What would you guys like to do?
Okay, I look to Lily and Axel and I go, all right, well, where do you guys want to start? What do you think we should start with?
According to proximity and viable cause, and because you wanted to, maybe Joseph.
Well, yeah. Joseph's not close. To be clear, he's gone.
Doesn't Joseph stay here? But then he went to the Lieberman's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but even then he's closer than the workers.
Oh yeah.
I was more saying it because of the people we mentioned.
No, yes.
I mean, it's still 3 cars away.
I didn't know if we wanted. I mean, do we want to talk to anyone in here, or are we just gonna kind of cross that off the list for now and start with our main suspects?
Oh, fuckface got him. Sorry, that's. I shouldn't call her that. We don't know her. What's her face? Alma.
Mm-hmm.
So Alma, Joseph.
Ah, right. She's the one who found the body.
Yeah, but Alma
found the body and deals with food.
Yeah. Alma,
if poison
Alma,
is on the table.
So Alma, write down probable cause, right? Lieberman's, but then Joseph is just kind of encompassed in the Lieberman theory.
Yes, agreed.
Alma or workers. That's kind of the next route. Rachel's cheated on a girlfriend, most likely not, but most likely the people that are here. Dad and son, probably not.
I think it is unlikely to be dad and son.
Rachel was in Axel's room, so for the sake of time, we'll put her last.
All right.
But although unlikely, and because Rachel came in when I was in Axel's room, right? So it wasn't during the night or anything.
Yeah, I mean, she has a pretty solid alibi, especially since she was with Axel the whole time.
She has the most solid alibi. Not
Yeah.
counting her out. The only ones I'd be comfortable counting out
Mhm.
right now is the kid.
Literally just the kid.
But that'd be
The
such a
dad
twist.
still. Dude, don't even worry about it. I already ran through this fucking thing of
Yeah.
thought in my head.
In that case, we'll just take our journey that way and talk to
Alright.
Richie's first.
Yeah.
Whee!
I was gonna say we could talk to Alma and see if we could get any more details out of her.
We can. Alma would be in the next car over,
Alright.
and then we can go and back.
Okay.
Alright.
Do you guys care? Because I'd rather start with Alma, see if we can get any more details.
That's fine. It doesn't matter to me either way.
Take us to Alma, God.
You guys can move yourselves from where you are.
No.
He said, listen here, fuckers.
I'm opening this door. Check and check. Does this door look the
Anything
same?
suspicious?
Yeah, more or less how you left it.
Manasens check.
Suspicious.
Manasens check.
Oh.
I will not be adherent to this level of conformity that. Okay, never mind. I will be. All right.
Walking by, I do want to kind of like, I'm not like putting my ear to the door or anything, but I do want to listen
It rips off the
to
door.
see if I hear any.
Like a perception check.
That's my first double-digit
yeah,
roll.
You do hear. You're pretty sure that all three of them are in there. You hear like three distinct like sources of noise.
Okay, that is enough for me. I'm not gonna listen in or anything. But
Yeah, they don't appear to be talking at the moment in any case. So.
okay.
Ding dong.
Kabloop.
Open door.
I want to do the good old noir trick of shoving him above the train to see if there's anybody on top, and then below the train.
Okay.
Classic.
Noir investigates the top and bottom parts of the train. He does not see anyone in either spot.
Twist. He grows. You know what? He didn't do this, but in my headcanon, he grew little wings.
Little tiny wings.
Yeah, like that one dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. All right, we can continue.
All right. I was like, I don't even know if Axel would know this, so I'd turn to Lily and just go, so which one is Alma's room? I know you've helped her with stuff before.
This one, right, God?
Yeah, correct.
I believe it's that one.
I softly knock on her door.
I was like, I will kind of stand back on this one because I feel like I don't want to be intimidating or anything to Alma.
Yeah. If you guys could be with, in my line of sight, but be out of the door's line of sight. So just how it is fine.
There's no response.
Mademoiselle Alma, are you there?
There's no response.
Okay.
I try to open the door
And
and will state that it's an emergency.
Lily said, I'm gripping and ripping this bitch.
Can I
Perfect.
peek my head in here? Is there anyone in here? Never mind. Shit's locked.
I will. I know this room is empty.
The handle at the other end. That door is locked.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
I will close the doors behind her.
Onward and upward.
This is a little weird, is it not, y'all?
I mean, there was a dead man on the train. Every precaution is understandable to a degree.
Eater just said that he wanted them to stay in their rooms, right? Like their personal
Yeah, but
quarters.
Eater doesn't really have control of this part of the train, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he told the passengers at least to stay in their rooms.
I knock on the door.
Yes. It's Aaron's voice.
Bonjour. We were wondering if we could ask some questions. We are the constables.
Yeah, Eater said that you guys might stop by. Can I hear everyone's voice just to know that I know that you're there?
Certainly.
Yep, it's me, Axel.
Okay.
I love that.
Nor meows.
The lock slides and the door opens, and Aaron takes a step back. He says, "Yeah, we're just trying to be cautious. Eater said that we can trust you guys and him, but we should really keep it pretty locked down. Aside from that,
Yep, I recommend once we leave, you go back to what you were doing.
of course." He sort of takes a seat next to Abigail with Alma at the other end, um, and they kind of wait for you to get comfortable and ask your questions.
So I'll kind of sit down on this end then, I guess.
I meow at them, but like intimidatingly so.
Love intimidating meows.
Yes. I do this until I get a response. I would like to first sit down and kind of sigh and go, I know this might be unprofessional, but any more of the whiskey?
Abigail sort of glares at you. Alma looks kind of like flustered and concerned. Aaron just sort of nods slowly and goes and collects a bottle of whiskey, and hands it to you. He says, "On the house, I suppose. Frankly, doesn't seem like if there was ever a time to drink."
I point over to like some of the glasses and like wonder if they want some.
Aaron puts up his hands. He says, "No, I'm technically still on duty." And Abigail and Alma sort of follow his lead, refusing.
All right. I still pour them 3 glasses and go, well, I doubt I will be coming back, so do with that what you will.
Axel, I reach out and grab one of the glasses and start.
I slap your hand, not aggressively so, but I give it a little slap, and I go, no, not for you. And then I get another glass and pour it and give it to Axel.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, thanks. I guess I'll grab it and just start drinking, or just sipping.
Manners, Axel, manners. Well, I believe you understand and I'm pouring myself one. I believe you understand the, gravity of our current situation.
Aaron nods slowly. Says, all my years of working on the train, never had a dead body on it."
Well, that's good at least. Not a very common occurrence. Regarding how you found Monsieur Stark, anything peculiar about it?
Aaron sort of directs his attention to Alma, who looks fairly nervous and anxious. She puts her hands on her tables, kind of wringing her hands. She says, "Well, it's just last night he was sick, and I wanted to check up on him. I was going to check up on Buffer right afterwards, but I don't know. I happened to, and his door was locked, and I wasn't getting any response. And Sergeant Eater, he came out. He heard me sort of messing with the door. He went over and he picked the lock, which I was kind of impressed by. And inside, he wasn't breathing, and almost sort of starts shaking a little bit, clearly kind of haunted by the very recent traumatic memory."
I look down at the glass of whiskey.
At this point, she does kind of like absent, not even really like intending to, like she does grab the glass and drink slowly.
It is quite okay, mademoiselle. It is not a very pleasant sight for anybody, whether you see it a lot or not.
She nods and she says, and then Eater told me that to tell the conductors and tell Aaron, and that we should stay here and lock the doors until we get to Duran, unless he came by or you guys came by. And yeah, that's all I think.
All right.
How much longer do we have till Duran, God?
So you guys will be arriving the evening, tomorrow evening. So you have this whole day and then most of the next day.
Sorry, continue, Lily. I'm just trying to find what timeline.
All right. As Aaron and Abigail. I mean, not what were you guys doing the night of, or maybe the morning?
Aaron just sort of looks over at Abigail and says, I mean, I was in my room sleeping, as I normally do. Uh, Abigail, and she nods and she says, yeah, yes, I finished the cleaning the dishes and I retired to my room. It was a quiet night. I didn't hear anything until Alma got up to go and check on Michael Stark, I suppose, and I got up and started preparing the morning's breakfast.
I see. I imagine all three of you wake up at around the same time.
Abigail sort of shifts in her seat a little bit. And she says, "Well, I tend to wake up a little earlier for the food prep."
I make an insight on Abigail.
Sure. What are you interested in?
Is she like nervous because of the situation, or nervous because she's a little sus?
Be a little sneaky gal.
Um, I mean, she is nervous because of the situation. You get the sense she's trying to sort of maintain and
The
like
formalities.
yeah, she wants to retain a sense of normalcy. Make the world continue to make sense. So
Okay.
she's proud that she gets up early in the morning.
Yeah, and just simple asking questions. The basics, of course. I assume that the three of you can account for, well, the one of you can account for the other two, and vice versa on um uh the the how do I put this? The times you wake up and so so on.
They kind of look uncertainly at each other. Aaron says, "Well, I mean, like I said, I normally get up a little later than those two, and it sounds like Alma got up a little earlier today than she normally does." Alma nods. So no, I suppose we can't guarantee, we can't affirm that. Would have been sleeping at the time.
But
Abigail's, yeah.
yeah, but at least on the at least on the um fuck me, words are not my strong suit. On the basis of normalcy, Abigail usually gets up earlier, you usually get up later, and then Alma was worried, so she got up earlier. Is that correct? But usually speaking, Aaron gets up later, Abigail gets up earlier. That is not a strange or uncommon thing.
They all nod and say, yeah. Aaron says, yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, Alma tends to get up a little bit after Abigail. Yeah, that's accurate.
All right, just keeping a timeline on these things. It helps with with the timeline of everybody on this train.
Of course.
Well, Axel, Vera, if you have any questions, feel free.
And did any of you see as servants on the train, did any of you see anyone interacting with Stark yesterday?
Alma says, well, I gave him his dinner. Like I said, he seems sick. I mentioned that to Sergeant Eater. I think I mentioned it to him.
And when you mean sick, he just pale face, nervous looking
No,
maybe?
he was just kind of coughing a lot. It seemed like sort of a cold. It seemed that way, at least. I don't know.
And no one else interact with him at all yesterday? Just
Aaron shrugs, and Abigail looks over at Alma. Alma says, well, I'm really the only one who was interacting with the passengers yesterday. I was bringing everyone their food. I didn't see him interact with anyone, but like I said, I was only there to deliver his food.
Of course, being sick is not taken out of the account by any means, but well, frankly, we're going to be on this train for a little while longer, and I'd rather look stupid that he died from his sickness than, well, the more foul possibility.
Aaron nods and he says, no, I appreciate that. We're more than happy to hold up for 2 days. It's better be uncomfortable for 2 days rather than, another tragedy repeat itself.
My thoughts exactly. I believe the conductors have locked themselves in the engine train as per code.
Correct. Yeah.
Alright,
We
very
sent
good.
up the signal.
Very good. All right. Well, I believe if unless the two of you have any more questions, once we get more information, we might come back. But like I said, for the meantime, please, keep the door locked. Maybe well, I wish you guys the best, and I'm sure we will, meet again, no doubt. But maybe we'll have more questions. See, more things come to light and things of that nature.
Of course. Yeah, feel free to come back and ask any questions you need to. It did occur to me, and I mean, I'm sure you're considering this angle. Um, Poison. Uh, if it was, it would have been delivered in anyone's soup last night. And Aaron sort of gestures to Abigail, who nods. She says, "I made a single pot of mushroom soup last night, and that's what Michael had. So anyone else who ate the soup would have also been presumably poisoned." Um,
Noir is going to do cat shit and investigate. Um,
Okay.
the foods and or weird the usual cat shit, weird smells, things hiding in places they shouldn't be, stuff like that.
Sure. Nora can make an investigation check.
The usual shebang. Can investigation be like wisdom or something? Just kidding.
Oh,
Shit on. I'm getting that 20, make it 17.
Go crazy, baby.
Nora looks around fairly thoroughly, checking to see if there's anything unusual in the kitchen. And Noir can completely rule out the possibility of poison, at least emanating from this
here.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I
good,
don't
actually.
think-
That's pretty
that wasn't
helpful.
that wasn't a useless nat 20, but
Yeah.
it does not give us more. But definitely not useless.
No, cross some options off the list for sure.
All right. Well, like I said, we will be questioning maybe the less well, the characters I'm less fond of. I was hoping we would come here and meet the nicer folk on the train, but alas, everybody must get everybody's stories straight. Like I said, rather look like idiots than, well, not make it to Duran. So I bid you all a fair day. As for the, whiskey, if there was a time, I imagine it would be now. I go to the door. Obviously, though, I'll wait in case Axel or Vera had more questions. But otherwise,
No, as you give your last little thing, I'll finish my drink and I set it down on the table and just go, "Oh, thank you for the drinks." No, proceed.
Okay. Aaron escorts you guys out, and you hear the door lock behind you.
It's
Would you
them.
guys like to?
All right, on to the stupid fucking Liebermans.
Yes. This
Mongrels.
will
That's
go
so
What is their
funny.
official title?
That's how I
These-
describe them. That's
The
crazy.
stupid mongrels of the higher class.
That's their noble title.
Power,
Goddamn idiot.
power by title. Absolutely love it.
Yep. Right. Morgan, the capitalist pig Lieberman. That is what is on his will. All right. Well, I don't think there are many. Well, Democratic vote, and I know the way this is going to go. Says Vera should be the one to knock on the door and talk to them.
I feel like that's probably in our best interest.
Oh, yeah.
This time, though, Axel will be standing like behind Vera,
Yeah, like
looking a little more. I don't like you, or just like
sorry. Yeah, I will be out of sight.
not necessarily immediately trying to intimidate, but just he doesn't like him, so he doesn't have a nice look on his face.
All right. Well, Vera knocks on the door.
Oh, we can do some good cop, bad cop. This is gonna be great.
Ilsa's voice comes through, not opening the door. However, she says, "Hello. We heard you coming up, Miss Vera and the constables. I assume."
Oui, mademoiselle.
That would be correct.
Joseph told us what was going on. He's in here with us right now. It's myself, him, and Moses.
Moses, not Morgan.
Okay. Well, Miss Lieberman, if it's all right, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
Yes, that's fine. I can assure you, obviously, that neither myself nor our bodyguard had anything to do with this unfortunate tragedy.
Oh, fuck. It cut out for the first half for me because of my shitty internet. What did she say?
She says that herself.
The usual suspect stuff.
Yeah, it was. None of them were involved with what happened last night. That's what she says, more or less.
I understand that, Miss Lieberman, and we are not here to accuse. We simply just want to get as much information as we can.
Of
to
course,
solve
that's
this
fine.
case.
Ask what questions you need to.
There's the fucking door. Oh God.
Perhaps it would be a bit more helpful if we could see face to face.
Unfortunately, under the advice of our bodyguard, we're not going to be opening the door.
All right. What if only one of us goes in and the other two stay outside?
There's like a bit of a small discussion behind the door for a moment, and then she replies, "Unfortunately, we feel more secure with a wall between us and anyone on the outside, until we get to Duran, at least."
Ooh, how long can Axel stay quiet? This is really going to be the question of the day.
Honestly,
All right.
some intimidation probably isn't good.
I do not disagree. My last attempt would be to whoever you would feel the safest, Joseph would feel the safest, going in. The other two, and you can hear us, will walk away, and that person can come in, unless Joseph does not believe he can defend against one of us, although he is a very capable man, and he can do, what I imagine is quite a job in combat.
I roll my eyes, being so annoyed at the situation.
I'm doing the thing where the fucking hand is like talking next to me, and I'm like nodding my head.
You can make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage, damn.
Disadvantage, you shit.
Oh my god.
Better than Axel.
Okay, guys.
All right. There's a bit of a discussion behind the door, and then Ilsa says, "Yes, I think that's acceptable. We'd prefer to speak with Miss Vera. However, we're willing to let any one of you, whichever one you'd like to represent your group inside."
I give Vera a hand on the shoulder, and I look at her and I go, "Well, Vera, if you're expecting me to step up, this is not going to be your day." So I start walking to the other side.
Vera nods her head in defeat.
I give a long huff, just like
As I'm walking, I grab Axel by the shoulder and I go, "It's not your day, Isa. Come on."
as Lily grabs me, I don't fight it, and I just turn with it and walk. I'm just like, that's so fucking annoying. So I'm like just walking off with Lily.
Solid.
Okay. As the three of you walk off, I assume you're walking a little further than. Okay, yeah, there you go. The door unlocks and opens.
Dude, that was my idea.
Steps aside and says, "Come in quickly, please."
All right.
He closes and locks the door behind you.
I keep my open.
He crosses his arms and sort of leans against the door, and he says, "All right." Moses and Ilsa, they're kind of sitting on the couches together. Moses does have his wand out. He's not like pointing it at you threateningly, though. He just appears to want to be ready.
It's just, can I get a read on like what their faces look like? Are they scared or what's going on there?
You can make an insight check.
Oh my god!
Little inside action.
If I can find it, there it is.
Nice.
Oh, I am so insightful.
23.
What's that like?
So they're both clearly kind of worried, anxious. Moses is kind of like he is anxious, but he has kind of like he's kind of excited for some shit to go down and him to like be the
Ah.
big hero. That's kind of his like vibe right now.
Ah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So he's like anxious but kind of also excited.
And can I use that wonderful 23 to get a read on Joseph as well?
Joseph looks actually kind of freaked out and like, yeah, he looks very nervous. Yeah, you get the sense like this is supposed to be a cushy like, job. This isn't
Ah.
supposed to be a like, oh, you need to protect us against serial killers sort of job.
Okay. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Lieberman, I will make this quick. I'd just like to hear your stories on yesterday, on what occurred yesterday during the day.
Moses sort of narrows his eyes. He says, that's fine. We have nothing to hide. However, the murder occurred last night, did it not?
Yeah.
Why are you asking about what happened the previous day?
Just want to get their alibis. All right, fine. Vera will change her sentence. I'd like to just hear on what you were doing last night at the time of the murder.
Moses shrugs and he says, well, I mean, there's nothing particularly special. Miss Alma delivered our food as we requested. We had a bottle of wine, me and Miss Lieberman. I read. She did. She did her own activities that she does before going to sleep, and we fell asleep. We had the door locked. We had no cause for concern until Joseph came knocking on the door, and we let him in. He explained the situation. We locked up, and that's it.
And okay, and I look over to Joseph, and if I may get your story as well as to what you were doing last night.
He shrugs and he says, I mean, I was just in my room sleeping.
And did any of you three interact with Michael Stark yesterday?
Moses says, to be honest, I wasn't even sure who that was until Joseph explained it to me. Ilsa shakes her head and says, no, we were staying mostly in the cabin, or at least I was. Joseph says, no, he's normally in that train compartment there, but he wasn't there yesterday. Or at least not yesterday evening, at least. So no, I didn't interact with him.
Okay, and did either of you? I know you two said you were staying in the cabin. Joseph, did you see him at all yesterday? Was he acting strange at all to you?
Like I said, it was unusual for him not to be in sort of the waiting compartments. It seemed like he had retired to his cabin after yesterday's afternoon and evening. But no, I didn't interact with him at all, though.
During afternoon. Okay, so he said Michael retired to his cabin in the early afternoon?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Okay.
She ready to find any inconsistencies in this.
I'm trying my best. I got a shit ton of notes that I can't even remember what I wrote down. That he didn't.
Twice. Come on, bro.
That he didn't hang out in the usual spot. Okay. Okay. Shit, I'm running out of shit to ask. Okay. All right. Well, for now, that's all I wanted to ask. If I have any more questions, would it be fine to come back in the near future?
The Liebermans look at Joseph. He says, that's fine. This arrangement is acceptable with you coming in, but your partner's staying out. Yeah, I think I can be responsible for the Lieberman security in a situation like that. So yes, that's fine.
Cool. And all right then, I will be on my way, and I will be back if I need to know any more information. And while Vera's leaving, could she just take a little glancy around the room, a little casual glancy, see if there's anything suspicioso?
Sure. You can make a perception check.
Wasted my 23 on that wisdom check. Perception! Not bad.
Okay, with a 15. No, you don't see anything of particular note. I mean, their cabin is a little bit more like involved. There's like things lying around, but nothing like unusual.
Reveal anything.
Jawfield.
Real? Okay. Alright. Where? There you are. Alright, Vera walks on over. Well, their alibi seemed pretty solid. I mean, Joseph is the only real outlier, and only because his room is next to Michael's, but he doesn't seem like the type that has it in him to commit murder. He seems like quite a coward. Vera's saying this quietly, by the way, just in case.
Oh, I'm sure.
And Moses and Ilsa, I mean, they said they were in their room for the most part. I mean, during all of last night and the day before. So, moving forward, who should we question next?
I mean, honestly, frankly, I don't think this questioning is gonna get us anywhere. Now that we're
Yeah.
like even if we do question the right person and ask them all the right questions, I mean, there's no reason for them to tell us. So hey, it was me, Smile. I mean, and I will continue walking as I'm saying these things.
It's not really my goal. I'm just hoping to find any inconsistencies in their stories. I don't expect them to be like, haha, yeah, I did it.
No, yeah, from person to person. I suppose I suppose we can keep going, but I don't really have anyone else to question, at least for me at this point.
What about the upset girlfriend?
Yeah, it's
Also,
really,
I don't
suppose
although I don't recommend you as for that one.
No, I was actually going to immediately run away. But
I mean, yeah, we could at least ask her if she heard anything. Any extra details? Anything?
I can move you guys back to the passenger thing.
Please
if
do.
That's where you're headed.
What?
although it is really fun sitting here and dragging piece by piece, but you know.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
real riveting stuff.
Yeah, on the walk, I suppose Axel's just thonking. It's like, it's annoyed. All right, well, I'll head to my room and well, actually, I mean, are y'all wanting to question Rachel as well? Because if so, I could always, you know, and I go in air quotes, go to the bathroom so that y'all get a chance to do that without me. And I'm saying this while walking to the cart, by the way, you know, like on our journey, like I'm not in the cart saying these things out loud.
I sigh and nod and go with Axel. We have to question everybody.
Oh, you want to start with
Yeah.
Rachel first? Or what?
I believe that the other girl is in distress, and I mean it's either you or me that should do it. At least for Rachel, I
Okay.
could probably talk to her.
All right.
Okay.
Since
I'll
I've
talk
already
to
talked
this
to her.
girl.
As we
in the
get in,
bathroom.
Axel, yeah.
All right.
I
You want to
start.
start with Lily first?
It's all the same. Sure. I knock.
Yes.
Actually, never mind. I knocked. It's too late.
I knocked. It's too late. It's GG's.
This is Lily. Unfortunately, sorry for the disappointment. Just a couple questions. Need to ask you basic stuff.
Oh, okay. She unlocks the door and opens it.
I walk in if I'm allowed to.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
she-
just like force myself in.
She sits on the bed and sort of folds her hands. She says, "Of course, I understand. You have to question everyone."
Yes, as unlikely as it is, you know, when a sitting thing like this gets dropped on your desk, you know, it's not the most favorable thing, but unfortunately you have to check every box.
Is this your first murder investigation? I don't know, like, do constables do this sort of stuff often?
It's not very typical in Rheintal, so it's not very common. But murder is happens well everywhere. So every now and then, yes.
I mean, I
Happens
imagine you
everywhere.
must have seen some in Corlita. It's kind of a nasty place
Yeah,
for that sort of stuff.
it is. Well, it's not something I see, and I chuckle to myself a little bit. But regardless, things I must deal with nonetheless.
Okay. Well, I'm ready. I mean, I don't think my answers will be terribly exciting, but please.
Yeah. No worries. No private questions. What happens behind doors stays behind doors. I was just wondering, for the sake of it, if maybe at some point during the night you went to use, the restroom or left the room at all and maybe saw something.
No, I was asleep all night. I had a pretty good night's rest. It sounds awful to say, but I
Oh,
slept really well.
oh, do not worry. Must take the good things as they come. Um, Rachel, is this is where we're going to get a bit more personal. I don't find any glee or happiness in asking you this. You know, don't take it the wrong way. With the current status of your relationship with what was the other girl's name?
Irina.
Irina. Is it is she the type of person that would lash out in her anger?
Um, you can make an insight check.
Ooh.
Please, for the love
Roll high. Roll
of
high.
God. Fuck.
Ah!
Look when he's there.
You're in my room right now, so this
That's
is.
true. The fucking
Um,
AoE of bad luck.
She says, I mean, no, I don't think. I mean, certainly, I would not suspect her of, doing anything to hurt someone, like that. No, I mean, she was pretty upset, but no, no, of course not.
I mean, like I said, just checking the box of motives and all that. Any chance as that how long have you known Miss Irina?
Well, to be honest, not that long. Um, we discovered we had a passion for flowers, and like one thing led to another. I don't know. We've been seeing each other for about 2 months, maybe three. I'm not entirely sure.
I see. What is this one is out of my pure curiosity. Do you have a favorite flower? And does Irene have one?
Yes. Well, Irene is roses, somewhat predictably for her.
Of course.
Mine are
Say lotus, bitch! I fucking dare you.
uh,
Come on, Hudson, do it.
I don't know flowers. What are the different flower types?
Lily,
What do you got in your
other-
head?
What do you got in your head for
A
her?
blue
I
bonnet.
Yeah.
thought she would be the basic rose bitch. I thought the other one would be the
Um,
so I'm out of ideas for her.
Rachel's
She
so
says,
much more than that.
She says, I'm a fan of orchids. There's a lot of variety in them, which I appreciate.
I see.
Are
Well,
you a
I'm
fan of lotuses?
any two of you fan of lotuses, specifically red ones?
You bitch! You dirty whore! You try to convince me.
Um. All right. Well, those are two good choices. Little basic, but two very good ones. Um. All right. And knowing Irene for the 2 months or so, any abnormal behavior?
You can make another insight check.
Right now, I'm like bringing up some PTSD from some random
Yeah,
shit. It's not even
yeah.
related to the killer, but it's
Yeah.
fucking her up mentally. Okay, we're gonna keep going with this line of questioning. Don't even worry about it. Don't even give me
Um,
the
She says, well, no, I mean, she's just a very nice girl, pretty innocent. She had not the best upbringing, but well enough, a little bit better than mine, to be honest.
Nice.
No, it was No, nothing unusual.
I see. And these are actual, just like I said, list dine questions. Are you known and or have been told that you have multiple personalities?
What?
It's it's a common mental disorder. Well, not common. It's an uncommon mental disorder, but it's kind of just a truth or lie thing. It's when someone acts as if they are another person, but it is still the same body.
That sounds like some sort of curse or like a possession.
It is not dissimilar from the the actual illness, but it is an illness. I imagine I'll take that as a no, and then I imagine it's a no for Irene as well.
No, I haven't seen any evidence of that. No.
And as well as maybe her, not necessarily with multiple with this illness, but does she seem to snap quickly when things upset her, or kind of switches her mood very abruptly?
I wouldn't say abruptly. She got pretty angry the other day, but I mean, she had reason to be. It wasn't like out of nowhere. And yeah, Rachel sort of she blushes a little bit and looks down as she says this.
No worries,
Even
but
how?
I'm trying
Take
to
that back.
I'm trying to butter her up, trying to honey dick her. So
God, I hate that.
Bold choice
I-
of words at this moment.
no, it's a great choice of words. I grab her hand if it's in a grabbable spot, you know what I mean?
That's just in her lap. So
And
yeah.
I go, whatever is said, do not worry. If you need, like I said, if you need anybody to talk to, I know Axel is very helpful, but even if there are things that maybe the common man, and I give her a little wink and a little chuckle, won't understand, I will more than happy be here for you, like I have said before. Um, all right. Well, we have questions. The other suspects. Suspects. My apologies. The other passengers of the train. And yeah, it's well, checking out how you said. Um, but we are positive that well, Irene and I mean I will ask you, but likewise not tend towards hostility and or violence.
Rachel, who's still kind of looking down, she is listening to you and stuff. She's still looking down though. She says in a very quiet voice, You mean that, right? You're I can tell you whatever, and it won't get anyone in trouble just from what I say, right?"
Oh,
I
Ooh.
look. My head tilts towards Noir as Noir does his usual, closes the door, and then does lookout duty.
yeah.
Um, and I go, the room over there is empty. There's no other room to the side of us. Please, you go on. I give like a soft sigh, and I'm like, I merely wish to get to Duran in the same states as I boarded this train on.
I mean, okay. She has no I can't imagine that she would have had anything to do with this, but yesterday Irina and I had kind of a public argument in the train cart, and I had to leave. I didn't feel safe. I don't really feel safe with her. She was very, very angry with me. That's why I'm here in Axel's room, and I want to stay here until we get to Duran.
I see. Well, please stay here if this is the thing that makes you the most comfortable. I would like to, and you can tell me no, but now that things are a bit more calm, make another, make two things. One being an insight on her general well-being, not necessarily what she looks like when she said things, and the other one being a mana sense, to see if there's any like with the way Buffer, I could tell that, and then later revealed by Vera that Lilith is fucking up with them. I would like to see if I can feel that same kind of fabric, as well as just like the general vibe of the Irene situation.
Sure. Yeah, good. You can make your checks.
I second that by saying I will shoot myself in the foot here and say Nor isn't with me, so I can't see Rachel, but grabbing her hand, maybe like shaking or something. That is my essence, and
Slightly higher than 9. Go
Hey,
team.
there you go.
Hey, there we go.
I'll say with a 10 on the mana check, you don't sense anything unusual for coming from Rachel. With a 17, she looks like it's kind of it's kind of a relief. Like she wasn't eager to tell you about Irina and not feeling safe with her, but it looks like she's like happy to have said it now that she said it.
So seems pretty genuine.
I mean, I'll say with a 17, like Rachel's a fairly hard person to read in terms of like genuineness. But yeah, you do get the sense that at the very least, she's happy to have told you.
All right. Well, like I said, I sleep in the next room. If anything ever were to happen, the walls aren't terribly thin, but thin enough to where if you make some noise or knock on the wall, I will assist you. Granted, I think Axel can handle himself quite well.
With respect, Miss Lily, Michael was next to your room too.
Oh, I agree, but Michael is one man, and both of you are two, so the chances are exponentially higher. Granted, just giving you options here.
She sort of nods absently. Yeah. Anything else Lily would like to ask?
How do you feel about red lotuses?
How do you feel?
How do you feel about Lilith?
I feel the color red, and then lotuses as a whole.
Have you ever felt murderous urges lately?
If one were
I
to
feel like
put
these
you-
questions might be a little on the nose, guys.
If one were to put you on a
Just a
scale
little.
between normal person and a psychopath serial killer that absorbs mana, where would you?
Where would you fall? Where would you fall on
I
that
mean, like
spectrum?
like a 1 to 10. 10 being. No, I believe that is all. Of course, it will stay with me. You can reveal this information to Axel as you so wish.
I was gonna tell him, but I didn't want him to feel bad. Not literally none of this is his fault.
But he
No,
will,
no.
though.
Rachel, he won't feel bad at all. He will not feel bad. But this is your information to share, not mine. Although this will be taken into account in terms of safety and all that. But in my mind, no one else's. Well, I believe that is all. Like I said, just getting everybody's kind of a thing here, but it proved a bit more fruitful than I originally thought.
Of course, no. And can I just say, Lily, I'm really happy that not even just Axel, but the constables in general are here. You guys make me feel a lot safer.
We should.
Hey, me and Axel, Axel and I, you know, we quite cherish you, especially its partnership with the flower store and everything. I'm sure Vera does too, but well, Axel and I are the resident King's Gambit players after all, so a little more affinity there. Regardless, and Noir goes and opens the door for me. That will be all. Please, if you feel comfortable, lock the door after I leave. I'm sure Axel will be back at some point. I think he had to use the restroom, but figured some alone time would do you some good. Maybe get some stuff out.
Of course. Best of luck, Miss Lily.
I walk out. I'm sure she walks me out and walks away and stuff.
Yes, she does.
Well, this is Shagalagan. We can do it.
Spot up.
Oh, is that what's happening next?
I assumed so.
Well, because that was probably happening while that was happening.
Right. Okay.
Timeline.
So you knock on the door, Vera.
Yeah, I kick it open. No, I don't.
Kick that bitch open. Run in.
I know you're the fucking killer. Put your hands up.
That's one way.
Irene, on a scale of 1 to 10, who would you say the Red Lotus is, and why is it you dumb, stupid broad?
Scale of 1 to 10, how much did you fucking murder that innocent man?
Bitch. I know your game. She's like completely innocent.
You know what? Never mind. I'm kind of fucking with our new strategy. I think it's gonna get to the point quick.
Listen, we're about a day off from me going, Turtle, listen. I can confirm he or she is on the train. You were right. You were fucking right.
Let's blow this bitch up, huh? Firm handshakes?
Let's blow this bitch up.
Okay, I'd like to gently knock on the door.
It turns out it's Sergeant Eater, but can you also kill the Liebermans? We never know.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Miss, oh, fuck, what's her name? Irina?
Irina.
Miss Irina, I'd like to, have a word with you if that's alright.
The door unlocks and opens, and Irina takes a step back, letting you in.
Son of a bitch, my internet cut you out, Hudson. What did she say? Just come in?
Lets you in. She lets you in.
Okay, wonderful. Good day, Miss Irina. I know this is a stressful situation, but if you don't mind, I have a few questions concerning what happened last night, if that's alright.
That's fine. Do what you need to do.
Okay. Alright, someone's cooperative. What's her face looking like, Hudson? Distressed?
You can make an insight check.
I got it. Why do I waste all these good
So
rolls?
Once so she looks like she's been crying. Her tears are kind of puffy. She's kind of past the phase of like sad crying though, and now she's just kind of angry and frustrated.
Okay. Alright. Well, Miss Irina, I suppose I'll just cut to the chase. Can I get your story? What were you doing last night at the time of the death of Michael Stark?
I have no idea when he died. However, all last night I was in my room, tending to my plants, and that's it.
Can I look around? Are there plants in here?
Am I close enough to hear this conversation at least?
I mean, if you're in the bathroom, probably not, since there's like two
Damn
walls
it.
between you.
They're thin walls though, huh? Huh? Thin walls?
Not that thin. Irina, seeing you look around, she takes her suitcase and opens it up, revealing a number of small saplings. The tops of the case are lined with some sort of greenish-looking crystals that are glowing slightly. She says, this was to be our transplant for the stall.
Oh.
Any lotuses?
Now these days, and she closes it kind of in a huff.
She got any lotuses in there, Hudson?
Vera can make a quick perception check if she's actually interested.
This will break the case. What?
This is it, baby. This is it.
I'm not wasting a roll on looking for a fucking lotus in that case, goddammit. Wouldn't I have recognized it right away?
Where's Turtle Dog? I know who it is.
There were a number of flowers in there. Like there were probably like 20 or like dozens. So it would have been hard to pick out an immediate.
At least roll for it. Come on now.
You want me to actually
listen? I'm just saying.
I mean, okay, if your character wouldn't look for it, then no. I mean, play it how you would.
But I'm just saying the nat 20 on like the weight in the Naruto 5e campaign got us that other.
That's
all
true.
It takes
which
is
is really funny.
All it takes is.
Oh fuck it! What do I need to roll, Hudson? For perception? Is that what you said?
Yeah, perception.
Oh my god! Here we go. Ain't no fucking
She closes it too quickly for you to really make a good determination there.
Wow!
Stop blaming my fucking cat. He didn't kill anyone.
God, that's right. Where was Noor at the time of the murder?
True.
Hey, call in with me, dog. I'd be there with the murder. You think he's doing it by himself?
Lily just drops off the deep end, like, all right, well, you know, I might as well just start killing
Drop
everyone,
off
you
the
know?
deep end. That implies that I was anywhere near fucking ground level.
Any
Cool.
other questions, Miss Vera?
Oh, fuck. Okay, so I asked her where she was, and then, yes, I'd like to get your opinion on the other passengers. Are any of them suspicious, or did they interact with Michael Stark? Anything noteworthy at all would be very helpful.
Irina frowns for a moment and thought. She says, no one really interacted. Well, honestly, myself and Rachel interacted with him a fair amount. He's a merchant, and we were just trying to get some tips and stuff like that on how to set up a business. Yesterday, though, I will say, he went out like out of the train for a while, and then he came back. He looked pretty freaked out when he came back. At least that was my judgment. The only other person who was out at the same time was Joseph, though. Joseph Wallach, that brute of a man.
And if I could get your personal opinion on Joseph, do you think he could commit a murder like this, or do you
Of
think
course.
he's...
He seems like a killer to me. Not a nice man at all. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to say, oh, he's certainly a murderer, but a killer, at least. Certainly.
And if I may ask, what exactly makes you say that? Just his demeanor and how rude he is, or have you seen him have violent tendencies?
Were you not there when he punched that little boy in the face?
No, that's right. Irina was there in the cabin, wasn't she? Just her little Lily
my
muttering.
experience, for a person who's willing to pick on people weaker than them, it doesn't take that much more than that, in my opinion, anyway.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom, and Vera, I don't mean to metagame you here, but the Red Lotus killer say what is a valid strategy.
Let's go. So what?
I'll be back.
If only I was Eris, she would definitely fucking do that. Okay, let's see. Irene and Rachel talking. Okay. Joseph is capable. Don't mind me, I'm writing notes. And is anyone else on the train suspicious to you at all? Anyone else at all?
What do you want from me? I'm not an investigator. I'm not an expert. You guys are. Why are you asking my opinion?
Can't miss fucking attitude. Jesus.
You just smack her across the face. You're the fucking killer, I know it.
This is why Rachel left you.
Miss Irina, and the process of being an investigator is just gathering any information in the slightest. When it comes to finding a suspect, our pool starts wide and then we narrow it down. At this point in the investigation, everyone is on the table, and I hope you're understanding of that.
All right. I don't know. Sergeant Eater, I mean, he seems like a nice man, but he's seen some things. I have heard stories of soldiers going a little bit crazy after the things they've seen. Maybe he snapped. I don't know. Wallach would be my first choice. The noblemans, you can't trust. You can't trust nobles, just in general.
Agreed.
I don't know. I don't think that it's the Kramers. I'll put it that way. I would be shocked if that was the case. It might have been the servants, I suppose, but they seem friendly enough to me. I don't know.
And I apologize if this is a touchy subject, but there is someone you hasn't mentioned. Your opinion on Rachel?
Anchor bears.
You can make an insight check, Vera.
I can make a what?
An insight check.
Yikers.
She said it. She said the name.
Oh shit! Insight.
Listen, if she gets rude, just hit her with a yeah. That's why she picked Axel, and just go from there.
Okay, with 12, her hands kind of ball up, and she looks, her face tightens up a little bit. She looks like she's trying to hide the anger. She says, Rachel's a lot of things. Liar, cheater,
Huh.
not a murderer, though. I mean,
Yikes.
she's had to defend herself in the past in bad situations. I'm not saying that she's a blameless person, but a murderer, no. I can't imagine that.
Hmm. And she hasn't acted odd at all in these past few days.
Bad question to ask.
What do you want me to say? I know what's going on between your companion and Rachel.
Uh-oh.
So,
Juicy part, dude.
yeah, no, she's asking
question.
scary questions.
I don't remember if Vera knows the full gist of what's going on between Axel and
Not
Rachel.
the full
'Cause hasn't she
gist
not been
necessarily, but you've definitely like have caught us interacting in like small moments. To where like
Okay.
you would know that Axel's like, oh, this lady's really cool, but no, you would not. I don't think know the full.
Okay, because
extent.
I don't know that you guys are banging. I noticed Axel like flirting with her a little
It
bit.
was one time. All right, you say this like it's a common occurrence. All right.
And in all fairness,
That's like there won't be more.
Vera was unconscious during the first laying down
Okay.
of the pipe.
So my knowledge is minimal. Great. Anyways, Vera tilts her head and she goes, I'm afraid Axel didn't catch me up on this situation, but I can use context clues and, well, for what it's worth, my apologies that he's a manho.
This is crazy.
I am surprisingly with Axel here.
It's crazy that I'm the manho in this situation.
Surprisingly. Actually, fuck it.
Wait a
Fuck you,
minute.
you
Axel,
bitch,
like,
you slut.
What
Axel
is
knew that they were
happening?
together, didn't he?
No, he did not.
No, he didn't. No, remember we were making fun of him?
Yeah, it was a whole
Oh,
thing.
that's right.
Yeah, wait, so you do
Didn't
know. Yeah, wait,
realize.
Vera does know. Because, yeah, you the whole thing about being like
right,
Axel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I was like, he
I
doesn't
remember-
know they're together, huh?
Yeah, but like Vera saw them, like knew that he was interested in flirting with her, but
Yes.
she didn't know how far it went, right?
That's probably a more accurate
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, because I feel like Vera would just assume that would crash and burn before it could get anywhere.
Valid.
So that's what I'm going.
You act
with.
like you know. You act like you know Axel, all right? We've known each other for like no time at all. This is unfair.
My heart's a little tender, and that hurt a bit physically, and it wasn't even directed towards me. But yeah, I guess you're right, dude. God damn it.
And what was Irena's reaction?
Poor Axel, bro. It's got 2 nat ones getting shit on.
I know. I'm catching strays like crazy.
She will react. I guess she'll say, she'll sort of let out like a frustrated huff and say, well, I mean, whatever. It's not your fault. You're not responsible for the actions of other people.
All right. Well, I appreciate the honesty, and if I have any more questions, I will get back to you. And then Vera will move to leave, I suppose.
Okay.
Opie. Great. Where are the... Oh, it's Axel still in the
Axel done with his bathroom break.
Well, so hearing Vera leave and shut the door, I would kind of poke my head out a little bit.
I'll say for the like Vera and Lily, you guys both left your respective interviews at around the same time, more or less. Lily maybe a little bit later, but
Close and shut the door.
You just shut the door on me.
Stay in there.
I'm rolling athletics.
Yeah, I'll kind of poke my head out and see them walking and step out. And I just look at you two. I don't say a word. I'm just looking at you two.
I
Well-
look at Axel and I'm just like, all right, and I start walking over here and being walls are thin and all that.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally just walking by, I just nod and go, fair enough. Just keep walking to follow. Do, 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 do. All right, so lay it down. Do we have us a red lotus? Because while I would be a little upset, honestly, fucking solving the case might just be easier at this point.
I have a slightly better inclination of who it might be.
Oh,
But I would like Vera to go first with her interview. It will dictate
Alright.
mine quite a bit.
Concerned
Okay.
that you say that talking to Rachel, and I look over to Vera.
Well, I honestly didn't find anything too suspicious when it came to Irina. She was obviously angry at Vera looks at Axel at the situation she finds herself in.
That's what's
But I mean, other than that, her alibi was that she was in her room all night tending to her plants. She said she interacted with Michael Stark quite a bit, but only for business tips, and that was alongside Rachel. But I mean, honestly, she didn't have anything too worthwhile sharing. I honestly, I'm not suspicious of her.
I mean, I do want to say that is the least, what's sort of the least notable alibi, like.
Yeah, and I
When it
mean,
comes
like,
to
I
things.
recognize that too, but
I would
No,
like
that's fair.
to make
You talk to her.
I'd like to make a man sense check to see if there's anything else in this room besides the four of us.
nice.
How are we feeling about that?
What if I make a mana sense check?
Sorry, what did you want to do?
So that one was a test run to see if my mana sense worked. I was wondering if I can make
Yeah.
a mana sense check to see if there's
So,
only us four in the room.
Yeah, go ahead and do the real thing now.
So I'll go ahead and
Take out
like
the trial
really
out.
roll it now. I was just wondering if
Okay.
my yeah.
I think your test roll is fine. I think we can just take that. We saw
Well, so
Um,
there's actually 13 better possibilities, and I was wondering.
Actually,
Well,
there's
okay.
17 better
Well, actually,
possibilities
there's
if you want to get
17
into
more,
it.
That's right, because there's plus 4. You know what? No, sure.
to the best of your knowledge, Lily, you don't sense anyone else in the room with you.
I'm a kind player. I'll allow it.
A lot of the kindness of my heart.
Yeah. What can I say? Back into character. All right.
Talking to Vera real quick. Yeah. So I mean, I guess you get the sense that she was being fairly honest with her answers. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't pick up on anything
Oh, all right.
suspicious.
The usual for today, I suppose.
I mean,
look over to Lily.
solely based off of the fact that she stays in the room next to Michael Stark's. I think she's not entirely off the table, but she's also not the first person I'm going to guess murdered him.
No, that's fair. Lily, your previous statement was interesting to say the least.
Well, I was told not to tell anyone this, or at least I told her not to. But all is fair in love and war, and I am afraid for my life. So. And no secrets between the four of us, of course. That would be very mean and not fucked up at all, and I would not hate you if you kept secrets from me. So to point that all out, I spoke to Rachel. Damn, I'm losing the accent quick. It has been a while.
Commitment.
Well, I want to keep it up. It's just been a bit, so it's taking me a bit to keep it up. Anyway, regardless, she appears to have been, we'll say, wary of Irina and her emotions. I would also like to point out, Axel. This does not leave us. This is for our mission, and it is helpful for our mission, so I am revealing it. But otherwise, keep it to yourself unless you are told so. By her.
He's looking at you very inquisitively.
So anyway, she apparently came to Axel's room because she felt unsafe being with Irina. I would like to point out that while Noir was out of the room, so I couldn't get a good hold of what she was feeling, it appeared that this is something that deeply bothered her, and she was very glad to get off her chest. She looked quite uneasy about some of the remarks made, me asking if Irina had violent tendencies and things of the sort. I would like to point out that Rachel and Irina have only known each other for around 2 months, give or take.
When you say this, like the 2-month part, I do look like, like a little relieved. I'm still listening to everything, but a little like, oh, thank God.
As for Rachel herself, like I said, if this was done, it was some miracle of stealth and accuracy in which she did this. But I believe the information I got from Irene is not something we should ignore and yet pay more attention to. In my current list of suspects, she is crawled her way up to the top of it. If you guys, and I gonna give a pretty good, just to save some time, a pretty good recollection of everything that happened in the conversation. I'm not really holding anything back other than the, kind of keep it to yourself, not pointing any fingers, but looking at Axel.
Hearing this, can I make? I know we don't have history checks, so maybe this will just be an intelligence check or something. But like now knowing this information, can I think back to like the times that Rachel has come into my room, like post Irene moments? Because I think it's happened twice now. I mean, minimum once. And seeing if she is like seemed scared prior or things like that. Like seemed like, like being like happy to be away from whatever situation it was.
Sure. You can make an intelligence check.
Okay. Dude, this is crazy.
12. I mean, mostly you remember her being upset.
Okay.
She didn't really give off the vibes of being like super afraid. But to be fair, she might not have been like
Showing that.
Like, yeah.
Fair. Okay. I'll keep that to myself. I was just trying to like recall.
I will allow with this. Okay, you guys can make one more round of intelligence checks.
Oh,
let's go.
I get another chance off the 12. Imagine. Let's go! He does it, baby! Oh, he can do it! He can do it! It is possible!
So smart.
I didn't even know the motherfucker could roll past
Get
it.
it, smarty pants.
Bro, I was pretty convinced I couldn't go past it. I was pretty sure that was my limit.
It's all been
highest-
building up for this moment.
Your highest was 12, and everything was like a more than a +2. So congratulations on your first above.
Thanks,
9
man.
roll.
Thanks. I would like to
proud of you.
congratulate or thank rather the Academy.
Yeah.
Everyone that's gotten me
Give
here to
your
this point.
acceptance speech.
Whew.
So, Axel enters his mind palace for a minute here.
I do like
And
my
we're going to go through some assumptions that you might be able to make and what information you gathered and how that affects those assumptions.
Thank God, Axel
Okay.
all of a
Oh,
sudden
yeah?
had a revelation.
Hey, I did say that I went into a thinking mode there, so canonical.
First of all, does Axel think that the body that was discovered yesterday was significant? Like, do you think that the killer killed that person?
I do think it plays a role. I think there's no shot that they like happen to stumble across a body randomly. And if that's a bad assumption, that's where I'm at. But I definitely feel like it is important to some extent.
Okay. If that's the case, then you can safely assume, again, based off of your nat 20 the other day, your insight check on Michael Stark before his premature death, that he must have seen the body, and that's what he was frightened about.
Okay.
Even more than that, he might have seen something else that the killer was unwilling to risk him sharing with the cops that he was so frightened of talking to, aka you guys.
Yes.
So, if you recall the timeline of who was out when,
Okay.
Michael Stark went out first,
Yes.
and then Joseph went out by himself,
Yes.
and Michael Stark came back.
Yes.
That doesn't leave a lot of potential suspects.
Yeah, like it'd be Joseph, which he was top of the suspect list. So
That said,
okay.
Endel and Alina were not necessarily in sight of everyone at all times.
Wait, who and who? Sorry.
Who?
And Endel and Alina, those are the two
Oh,
that
okay,
gave
the
you the
keepers.
information about the timeline.
Okay.
So with a nat 20, Axel can think this through and think about who was in the train cart that you guys are actually in right now, which Endel and Lena would certainly have seen leave if they left. So For the meme here, we'll drag some people over.
Yes, I love a flashback
Yeah,
moment.
and being able to
Dude,
move
if
people
it's-
around.
Listen, I don't know where the fuck you live, Hudson. If it's the kid, I'll find out where you live.
Jordan and Zachary were there the whole time. They were kind of freaked out, not
They
wanting
didn't
to
wanna
leave,
leave.
wanting to be in public.
Yeah.
Sergeant Eater was there as well,
Yes.
as he was trying to protect everyone, as he normally does.
The kids were here.
The kids were there because they were reporting to you. I guess technically speaking, if they left themselves, they wouldn't have told you. So I suppose they would technically still be on the suspect list.
Okay, and at this point, Rachel and Irina would have been here, right? Or I
That's
guess
not correct.
not in here.
That's not correct. Irina was in there.
Oh, okay.
Rachel was not.
Okay.
She was there in your room when you left her, and to the best of your knowledge, she only came in and argued with Irina later.
That's
That's
right.
what
Okay.
Endel and Alina reported, is that Rachel came into the cart and argued with Irina later.
Okay.
And that's when Rachel stormed off after that and left the train. So, Michael Stark had left. So I guess we're assuming here that Michael Stark was killed by the Red Lotus and is not the Red Lotus himself, so he can be marked off.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Um,
Are you
Honestly,
telling me the Red
Right-
it
Lotus
would've
didn't
been
kill
a-
himself for us?
crack story if Lilith is like, these people might be a problem, gonna kill my one guy, and then he'll have to kill all three of them.
That would have been a fucking insane.
I think that's
Big
possibly,
brain move.
Axel's doing this in terms of like who is technically like possibly the killers.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yes.
Endel and Alina, if both of them are working together, they could have lied to you and lied about the timeline. In which case, everything that you're assuming here would just be bunk.
I'm
So it
trusting
could-
that it's not them.
I mean, we'd be fucked. If they
Listen,
were killed.
I'm willing to hard grip and rip that it's not them. I don't care. If I die to them, I'm willing to own that.
Yeah.
So going forward, we'll assume that Endel and Alina are off the suspect list.
Okay.
Zachary, Jordan, they are both off the
They would be
suspect list.
off,
They were
yes.
in this train cart the whole time. Same with Sergeant Eater.
Sergeant Eater.
Same with Irina.
Okay.
Because even though she did go out later on, Michael had already seen the body.
So, but to be clear, then,
but wasn't
Ra-
Irina the first one that found it?
Yes,
Yeah.
when she went out later,
Yeah, once
she's
she
the one who
left.
screamed, and Sergeant Eater and Rachel both ran to her, and they fight together.
But if it were to be Rachel, she would have had to have left when I left my room, gotten the kill, proceeded to come back without anyone seeing her. Like, it would have been a lot of steps for her to do this murder.
Correct. To be clear, I'm not solving this for you. I'm just
No,
pointing
yeah,
out
yes,
who
yes,
it
yes.
possibly
Yeah.
could have been.
Okay, and help me out here, because I'm not. The people in the cart right now, you're saying they are not the suspects?
Well,
They were
judging
in the
by... Yeah.
They were in the cart from early morning when you guys got to the place, and Endel and Alina saw them the whole time, and they reported the
Okay.
comings and goings of the people in this cart. So
Okay.
Irina and Eater left later, but they would not have been able to be outside when the killing occurred. Assuming that you're saying that the killing happened when you guys got to the station, which it sounds like you are making that assumption.
Yeah, I'm willing to make that assumption. And making this assumption, that pretty much leaves Joseph, possibly Rachel, yeah, any of the Lieberman, either of the two Liebermans, and I guess technically the train workers, but I really don't think it's any of the workers.
Sure. We can drag our suspects in here.
I was like, I choose to believe
So,
that it was not
Can
workers.
we pause for a quick seckie so I can go to the bathroom and you guys take this
No.
over?
We can theory craft between you.
Yeah, I'll keep dragging the potential suspects here as well.
All right,
We'll
take
put
an
them
ad
on
chat.
one side of the train and then the other.
I'm gonna use the bathroom. Have fun.
Go for it.
Enjoy that ad, nerds. All right, I love you all though. I promise. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, these are pretty much our main four. And again, if it is Rachel, and this is like, if we're agreeing on every other part of the storyline, it being Rachel is kind of whack.
Could have also been Buffer.
Yeah,
I am dragging Buffer over there. 'cause
if
is technically
he has been hella faking this
I mean, he won. I mean, we were fucked from the start. Just telling him
True.
that one was a rough one.
Yeah, so I think removing workers I am okay with, and tell me if you disagree. I think removing workers is fine. I think removing buffer is fine. Leaving us with the Richies, their guard, and Rachel. I.
From what Vera told us,
Uh-huh.
saying it's Joseph, it's a bit strange because he's like nervous, but he also could have done it and then he's no. But I think the Lotus is like stone cold killer. I don't think he's like, oh golly gee, what if they find?
I mean,
me?
Lotus could fake it though, right? Like Lotus could very easily just like
Okay.
fake
Well,
his shit.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
So what are you guys doing on the left?
We're pretty much, and
Left or
you
third
can.
people right are technically suspects.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
choose to disagree here. I have yet to hear a disagree from Greed. We have gotten rid of the 3 workers on the train, just because I really don't think it's them 3. While it is possible, I don't think so. We are, at least I am
When
ruling
we
out
were
Buffer.
questioning
If it is
them,
one of the 3 of them, like,
I was going to say, when we were questioning, didn't they tell us that, at least Abigail, I remember her saying she's been on that exact train for years.
Well, yeah, they've
right?
all been working together for a while, haven't they?
Okay.
Yes, they've all been. I mean, maybe not literally. Alma would be the most recent hire. I don't know if you
Yeah.
got that information from her, but she has been working for at least a year on the train.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so
I'm
yeah, I agree.
I'm
Pick
willing
them to
to
the left.
knock them out.
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
said, unless Buffer is pulling the fucking grandest heist of 2023 at this moment,
which by the way, fully deserves the win.
he has caught this
Yeah.
dub. He has caught this dub, and he's
Hell
earned it.
yeah. I will die like I accept this death to Buffer.
All right. So then that leaves.
Okay.
So that leaves these 4. If we are to go by this story, out of these 4, Rachel's the least likely, just due to the fact of, like, it would be I leave room, she leaves room, she goes and kills, she gets back, goes and fakes the argument with Irina, then dips out. It's like a lot of things would have to be perfectly timed, and not only that, but she would have had to have been extremely stealthy to do it that fast.
So, I mean, just throwing it out there, because,
Yeah.
you know.
No, go send.
Question. We are assuming that Rachel would have to leave the room. I mean, I don't know, like, dealing with magic nonsense. Like,
Is it not? And I might be mistaken here because I felt like I've written 10 different versions of these notes. I felt like
Honestly.
same.
I felt like it was like not necessarily written, but I thought they had to be touched or something. Am I wrong on that?
For
Was
what are you talking about?
Um,
For the Red Lotus
moments-
notes?
moments of the
Take
murder
their
were
spirit.
never like observed or reported, so you would not
Okay.
know that one way or the
We would
other.
not
The
know.
notes
Okay.
do not mention that. One further thing I will point out, you're talking about alibis and stuff. Your ex Ilsa and Moses would have to be working together, or at least one of them lying about the other's alibi.
Yeah.
Because yesterday they said that they were together in their room.
It's Rachel. It's gonna be so
Yeah.
fucking
So
Right.
I mean, in my head, it's either these 3. Sorry, these 3,
Oh, you
these
think
2,
Joseph is out?
or him by
Oh.
himself. Which I mean, it's literally what you said, but just trying to get my thoughts out.
Yeah. So you're saying it's
Okay.
either the Lieberman duo, the
Lieberman
trio,
duo,
or just Joseph.
Or just Joseph.
Okay. That's kind of the train I am on right now as well. I also don't think it's all 3 of them. I don't think
Yeah.
that is the case.
I want to
mean,
doubt it's all 3 of them too. I'm leaning towards the duo. That is my initial thought.
Mm.
Something about Joseph rubs me the wrong way, and I don't know what that is.
What do you mean? As in, you think there's like it could be him?
It like could be. No, it just could be him, but like I don't know. So it's the whole like, which again, this is like not proven at all whatsoever. But I
Uh-huh.
feel like big man, big hammer, big shield is like
Like a
weird
front.
Or yeah,
Okay.
it's like weird for a Lilith supporter deal. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm leaning more towards like Rachel or the Liebermans together. I
I
don't like.
think with more time we could investigate Rachel. I think in the
Mhm.
sense of this, we're gonna have to take obviously a risk.
Yeah, at some point.
I am more than willing to let the risk be Rachel for right now.
What do you mean, like addressing her directly?
Out of these four, it's like
She's the
if
safest risk, if that's
she's
what
the
you're saying.
safest. Yeah.
Yes, but like, what do you
'Cause we
mean
don't
by
know.
taking a risk? Do you mean like addressing her directly, or like what do you
Well,
mean?
no. I mean, like, we're gonna have to take a risk in choosing one of them and possibly being wrong. That's more like the obvious risk of choosing the wrong one.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if I had to gut check it, it just wouldn't be Rachel. It's just what combination of these three fuckheads is it in my head?
See, like Rachel
which
is
again,
exactly off my radar. I'm
which
still
again,
suspicious of her.
which again, I agree with you that maybe they don't have to have physical contact or like do anything. But if that's the case, then we're fucked because then they could just kill from any part of this fucking train.
They
Well, I
can't
mean,
kill
my
us
thought
though.
process was
Except
that
us.
she was kind of close to Michael Stark. I'm not saying like the conductor could kill Michael Stark from being a train away. I'm saying like she was close.
The conductors for sure aren't right because they were
Oh
trapped
yeah.
in their engine room.
I didn't bring them down there, but as soon as they got to the garrison, they activated their shield, which, as far as you
Oh,
can tell,
no,
ended
no,
with.
no.
Hey, that shield's
I'm
pretty
not saying the
strong too.
conductors did it. I'm saying like where I'm going with Rachel and the whole like not having to touch them to kill them was that I brought that up with Rachel because she was close to Michael Stark. Like she was like what, 2 rooms away. I'm saying like I don't think that the killer can kill from the complete opposite side of the train.
Gotcha.
Right.
I
I would
think
say
it's
that's
like they can
probably
be
fair.
near the
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. But I mean, taking that into account, which I agree, it probably has some range, but taking the fact that it's like, I mean, they theoretically like almost have the furthest room away from Michael. It's
Yeah,
not like
the Liebermans, yeah.
or not the Lieberman. Sorry, I mean like Rachel. So like if it were to have like some range of cars, then nobody would really be left out.
Well, she's in the same like little cart that Michael was in, right? That's where the
I mean,
room is.
even
Well,
if it's
yeah,
touch,
yeah, but-
everyone at some point has like come in context. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. I think if it's touch or not, because like it's just like anyone at any point could have done something. I don't think the range of the thing is like worth putting into
Is
account.
like worth yeah.
Especially because we also just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we still have one more day. It's like it's like 3/4
And
of
so,
a day.
question, why did you think it was Joseph again? Just bad vibes? Because personally, I think he's a little too dumb.
He was
And,
also
like, that
the
could be
one that left within. So
It
like
was
it was like
then
Michael,
Joseph.
then Joseph, and then Michael came back.
Okay.
So if we're going by like who we saw left, he is the most like obvious one.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
also
Right.
he was also in the same cart. Right, because he sleeps with us, and then
Yes,
goes
he
to
does.
Lieberman's.
Yes, he
Question,
does.
Correct.
Moses left, but Ilsa did not, right?
Correct.
Yesterday, according to Alina and Andil, yes. So Michael Stark left, Joseph left, Michael Stark came back, Joseph came back, and then immediately left with Moses afterwards.
Okay. Hmm. I don't know if you guys had to guess right now, who would it be? What are you guys leaning towards?
I want to say it's the duo.
I'm on the duo or Joseph. If you like gun to my head said grip and rip a choice, I'd probably say duo.
That's funny. We're all on different people. Yeah.
I mean, to be clear, they're all suspects for a reason.
Yeah.
Any four of these people could have done it. I believe Rachel had to go through those trials and tribulations and obstacles to achieve this, unless it's like some like delayed death touch thing. I believe.
Sorry, what do you mean by obstacles and whatever to achieve this?
So like to kill like Michael, right?
Michael
When-
last night,
Uh-huh.
it would have been pretty
She-
damn hard.
Because she was sleeping on the closest side of the bed to the wall. On the closest side of the bed to the wall. So she would have had to go over Axel, not wake him up, open the door. Not
Yeah,
wake
door
him up.
door was locked, so that would have
Door-
been a whole stint.
Yeah, not door was locked, so unlock it, go to the door,
Mhm.
do what she did. I couldn't hear it. Which fair, I couldn't hear it on sleep. But more on Axel's case, and I know.
And then she would have had to have gotten
Deep
back in
sleeper.
bed.
But then back in bed, back on the
Yeah.
same side of the bed, closest to the wall, relock the door, and then like cuddle up, and then like not wake up Axel or bother Axel at
Yeah.
any point in this. Which is
Another.
not saying it's impossible.
Uh-huh.
Just
Unlikely.
The least likely out of the three. And then the most likely taking the Imperial evidence of it is Joseph. But I don't like the Liebermans, and that's why I say it's them.
Yeah. Another thing I just do want to point out with Rachel is I feel like she has the what's the word? Emptiest background.
What
I
do
mean,
what do you know? What do you know about the Lieberman's background? Are you
That
just
was
saying
the
this because they're
shit.
rich? I was like, I don't think we know anything about anyone's background. I don't know Joseph's. I don't know Rachel's. I don't
I
know
was
Lieberman's.
thinking about their connection with the what's it called? Fucking magic association they're a part of.
The commission.
I mean, I'm not saying they're off the table in any
I
way,
think that puts
but,
them in a position of power, which makes it easier to do bad things.
Yeah. Like I said, the reason Joseph's like weird is because he was like on edge, which maybe I've just watched too much fucking like crime shows, and it's like he's nervous, so he's
Uh-huh.
like not it because he's a red herring.
Yeah. Oh,
But
I
it
mean,
also could be as blatant as he's nervous because of the thing. So I don't.
I mean, I guess he could have been instructed by Moses to kill Michael Stark.
Yeah, if I were to tier list this, I
Or
think
by
duo.
Moses, not Michael.
Yeah. I think the duo,
hmm
and then Joseph and the trio are kind of on the same tier,
Mine's pretty
And-
much your list.
and then Rachel.
I'm duo Joseph by himself, trio, and then Rachel.
Yeah, that would be my line of thinking here.
Duo and Joseph to me are pretty close. I think the likelihood of all them three is really low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, let's. I mean, are you still pretty convinced on Rachel, Vera?
I'm not convinced. That's just where I'm leaning.
That's your
at
most
the moment
likely?
with our
Okay.
limited.
So
information.
with this info, let's
to be
talk
clear-
about this then. What is
Okay, to-
something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be clear, if it's a TV show or a movie, I'm with you. Rachel's the fucking killer. But it's just but unfortunately, unless Hudson has given her plot armor and fucked Axel over.
Yeah,
Well,
she
no,
does have
Axel
a
could
pretty
Axel,
good alibi, I guess.
Axel could have been like put to sleep or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
possible.
mean, like if
Mm.
she's a cleric, then she would have certain powers that, whatever the fuck. I mean, she's been given powers by a fucking god. So I mean, I don't think she should be underestimated if we consider that.
No,
Okay.
no, still definitely a suspect.
I guess what we need to decide then, so we're not just sitting here going in circles with our limited information. With these four, what is something that we could find out, learn, and or ask that would either A, affirm it is one of them, or B, disaffirm that it is one of them?
Hear me out. We kill them all. I'm just kidding.
I don't think that's a bad idea if it comes to tomorrow and we don't know who the fuck it is.
No, yeah, it's not. That is a good
I am-
idea to
I am
keep in mind.
Not kidding. I am not kidding. If it is tomorrow and it is evening and we are almost in Duran,
They're
I
all
am
fucking dying.
going-
I
I'm
will
going-
refuse to kill Rachel, but Sure.
listen. We can kill the other three and then put Rachel on Turtle's list. All right, because that's
There we go.
that's
Yeah.
covering the basis.
Okay.
Oh my god, okay, hear me out. We have a buffer, and they said that if we get rid of the, the Red Lotus, then whatever's affecting him will go away. we'll know if
Oh,
we kill the
true.
red lotus if we just start picking them off. We kill one, go check on Buffer.
I think,
Oh my god.
and new gut check.
Mhm.
Ilsa's the red lotus. Moses is covering.
Okay, like he just
Honestly, I
knows
was
that
thinking
Elsa
that.
is the red
She
lotus, but
does-
he just
I think that bitch
Vibes
is too
with it.
nice to be with the crowd she's in.
okay. So
yeah, she
back-
seems like too cool and collected.
back to the problem at hand. How do we decipher this? What
right.
what is our
Okay.
questioning? Because that's what we need to figure out.
So
How do you feel about Lilith?
genuinely,
Who's your favorite Empyrean? Uh-huh.
I think we go to Eater.
Okay.
We're like,
We go to what?
we go to Sergeant Eater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're like, it's these three fuckheads. We need to help us out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kill them.
Oh,
All
you
three.
you want to just grip and rip all three of them?
All three of them. Kill them.
Is this? Are you being legitimate, or are we memeing right
Buffer.
now?
It is like a 60 to 40% thought in my head that that's
Okay.
the best choice we got.
Okay.
Then we check Buffer. Buffer not okay.
We know
We go
it's
into
Rachel.
Rachel and fucking slit her throat.
Yeah. Then we know it's Rachel. Ugh.
Not Buffer again.
Oh,
We start counting down until obviously I'm not gonna be a fucking animal about this. The kid is last.
Child.
Okay. So
Okay.
I don't know if fighting the three of them though is a good shout, because I think
Okay.
Moses and
We have 5.
Throw in
Moses
an
and
idea
Elsa are
out
gonna be
there,
so
'cause-
fucking strong, probably so strong though.
Okay, hear me out. Okay, all right. Shonda Dark. It could be a terrible idea. Whatever. Throw it out there.
Yeah, just
Uh,
spitball.
The Liebermans are familiar with magic.
They are indeed.
We could I don't know, like I was thinking like we could, do ask them for help, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
to figure out what's wrong with Buffer, and I don't fucking know where I was going with that. Like, see if they react to him in any way.
I
or-
agree. The problem is I don't think they're leaving the room.
Yeah, they would
Fair
have.
fucking point. Forgot about that.
Or
Anything-
could we bring Buffer to them?
Yeah.
Well, they said they would only allow Vera in, but maybe.
Vera could drag Buffer in and
Yeah,
be like, "Bro,
maybe I
what's
could
up?"
pull a little like.
And we'll do the thing where we're listening through the wall, and we'll have a code word. And if she says the code word, we bounce on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what to look for in that situation.
No,
but,
I
like,
agree,
it's
and I
just
think this
something I'm
isn't
throwing out
this
there.
isn't an ideal plan, but it is a funny thought.
It's just drag a knocked out dwarf.
Shit,
Okay.
man. Okay, what do we
Okay.
ask? What do we ask? What can we
Okay.
ask?
Okay. I know what to ask.
Okay.
We ask Abigail
Uh huh.
to poison their food.
Wow.
God.
This is bold.
Okay.
Like
That
knockout
was
poison
worth
or
it?
kill poison?
Those knockout poison. Those flower motherfuckers probably got some devious shit in there. Okay. They probably got some knockout flowers in there.
Uh-huh.
All right. We mix that a little up with some mushroom soup. We knock them out. All right. We investigate their room.
I should point out the food service is not happening right now because the servants are not leaving their area.
We'll bring it to them and it'll be fine.
I just like to point
That's
that out.
nuts.
I
Just
think
another
okay,
thing I
we-
want to
we-
ask is
we-
like,
we just have to figure out a question we can ask.
We have to
them.
figure out a question. I am
Yeah.
thinking of one, but nothing is coming to mind. Outside of literally
Even for
being,
Rachel,
like,
because even if we can like confirm Rachel's not it, that would also help a lot.
literally anything outside of like I know you're the killer, and then watching a
Seeing what
reaction.
happens, yeah.
Yeah.
honestly,
that is so far genuinely my like. I mean, maybe.
okay, but I feel like
Might work.
Lily would be great at that though. And then
They're not-
if you
well, they're
feel
not
like,
gonna let me in. Those
Oh,
two.
Oh no!
Sorry,
If
I
we
thought
were
you were
going
talking
that route,
about
we'd have to.
Rachel.
If we were going that route, we would assuredly do that to Rachel.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, I feel like Lily could just approach Rachel, pull that shit, and if you feel like it's not her, just be like, just kidding, sweetie. Just messing with
Yeah,
you.
what a great
That's
thing to
fun.
do right after she opened up to you about her deepest
Yeah,
feelings.
Yeah.
Listen, to be clear, I'm willing to do it. I I will slit her
See,
throat
that's
while,
the-
when
see,
she
there we go.
sleeps. Okay, that's not something I'm willing to not do.
Okay,
I'll fully
actually,
do
let's
it.
figure this out. Is there any way we can confirm people's alibis in the sense of Rachel would have had to have left my room after I left, right? Like that has to have happened if she killed this person. In which case, who is there anyone that would have been in our little dorm area that would have heard my door open a second time?
To answer your question, no.
Fuck off.
Because Joseph would have been with the Liebermans, he would not have been in the area. These guys were already in the cart. These 6 here. Potentially, I suppose one of the servants could have, but you would imagine Endel or Lena would have mentioned that the servants were heading in and out of the passenger cabin in that time.
Yeah.
And then Buffer was the only one there, and he was unconscious, presumably.
Well, that was one of my main ideas.
Go through the notes.
That'd be so
Okay, then...
Actually, I'll say with the Nat 20,
Uh-huh.
since you guys have kind of forgotten about him,
Oh no.
Enoch Fetterman was technically around at that time.
Well, yeah, I thought about him, but we can't contact him right now.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
He's also my BFF forever, so it's fine.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool.
We have not seen any kind of telecommunication device thus far, right?
I mean, you have not. Enoch, though, based off of, I mean, he would have left the cart around the same times that you guys did to go look at the garrison. A little bit earlier. He got as soon as the train stopped. He got off the cart.
Motherfucker's in the storage room. Go check.
Fuck, man. We just gotta figure
mean,
out what we could ask. Or, like, what...
I really hope Fetterman didn't kill that random person and then went on his merry way, because I'd fuck all this up.
I'll say with the Nat 20 also, no one else on the train would recognize Fetterman, including
Lamau.
Sergeant Eater.
That's really funny, actually.
Uh,
Okay, is there any way to... No, there's not. There's just not. We saw Joseph leave after...
Joseph, come back. Bring in the homies. Bring in his stupid battalion.
Yeah, he did leave and then come back and then get the gang. The gang is in just Moses, I believe.
Yeah.
what a gang.
Um...
I'm about to just ask these fuckers what
I
the
mean,
fuck
I was...
is.
Well, we could go the route of saying... And again, this is pretty forcing, but given the good old question of, like, okay, what did y'all do when you left the train? Because, like, that was weird. Why'd you leave the train? And I don't... Like, there can't be... Because where we stopped, there wasn't, like, a city or a town close by, was there?
Yeah.
No, just the garrison.
No, just the garrison.
Okay, so there's not very many, like, valid reasons they could give for, like, leaving with the two of them and coming back, besides, we were just going for a little homie stroll. You know how it is.
Yeah,
Which, like, and if that's the logic, that also doesn't make sense, because why would Moses take the one guard away from his wife? That's crazy.
I agree. I like your point.
So this is forcing because
I
it
also
could
think
initiate a fight.
I agree. We're also running out of non-forcing options.
I
if
agree.
we have any.
This is possibly the least forcing option we've had so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like let's get Rachel's alibi on that first, because she left the train, and since you guys suspect her the least, I mean, might as well just start with her, easy, right?
What do you mean get her? Her alibi we kind of already know of. She was chilling on the train in my room.
Oh, wait. Shit. No, I meant like when everyone left the train. Is that not what we're talking about? She left, right? Because she was with Irina when she found out.
Yeah. She left way after What's-His-Face came back, though, so the logic is, like, she could not have killed that person. Unless she snuck off within that, like, pretty small window, and then came back, and then did the whole charade of everything. Which, again, possible, just not probable.
So, confronting the Liebermans, then, huh?
And if that's the route, we might want to take Eaterman with us, or Sergeant Eater.
Yeah.
And just be like, look, we got a theory, might be this guy. Oh, I guess we don't really know that Eater knows everything because that hasn't been admitted to us. But I just go to Eater and be like, hey, you're like, if you could come with us because there's a chance that a fight starts.
I mean, just let Vera do it. I'll talk to him, whatever.
I'm just saying...
Yeah, that's gonna make Axel real comfortable when you go. Just let me go talk to him. That's gonna be real sweet.
Vera would be added to the list of suspects.
Fuck yeah! Sign me up.
The road would be slit as well.
Okay.
Do it. Maybe I want to die.
So, just so we're, and are we right now agreeing to the plan of going to Lieberman's, me, Lily, and presumably Sergeant Eater hang back in the other room? Let Vera go ask, yo, why did you and Joseph leave the other day? That was kind of weird, champ. And then we'll have like a code word where she'll scream like pineapples if we need to run in and fuck shit up or something.
I think wording it maybe like, hey, we spoke to some of the people and they said you left. Mm-hmm. What was done in that time is a bit less forcing.
It's true. It gives us the out of saying we're just following up on info that we received.
And maybe doesn't instigate a fight immediately, but maybe brings out some inaccuracies or inconsistencies.
And if it's the kids, they can fucking kill me.
What is something in the notes we can ask about?
So question. How bad of an idea is a scale 1 to 10? Mentioning that it was, just slipping in like, and it was interesting that the body was found with no spirit man, and to see if I can
10
reaction out of them.
If we are trying to do this without instigating a fight, terrible plan. Like if we're trying to truly see if we can bait out a bad alibi, because if we can, what we ideally want is them to fuck up, say something they shouldn't have said, we leave, and then we can regroup for like a surprise hit. That's like perfect scenario.
Okay, so I walk in and I'm like, yo, why'd you leave the train?
Yeah, you hit him with exactly what Greed said of like, hey, like when we were asking around, trying to get everyone's alibis, they had said on that day we found the first dead body that y'all had left together. We're just trying to follow up and like figure out what the reason for that was and why you did that. And if they get super defensive about it, be like, hey, like we are just trying to do our job. If you have nothing to hide, we're just trying to figure out what happened. Yes, what is your question?
Does everyone know about the first body? Because I thought only Eater and the girls knew about it.
Almost everybody knows.
I was like, they brought that to the train, I think.
Oh.
Am I wrong, God? Do we know of this? Do we know this?
You're not entirely sure of who they... You don't think they announced it publicly necessarily, but they didn't exactly keep it a secret either.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, more than likely. Especially the Liebermans, I'd imagine they know. I'd be surprised that, like, not, like, excluding the, like, evil they are probably killers thing, them being the little rich people, they probably would have a way of finding out. So anyway.
Okay.
That's theory. I think this is a good plan. And I think this is kind of just what we grip and rip. Questions, concerns?
We can also, this is going to sound like a joke, but I don't mean it as one. We could just wait and then, with the inconsistencies, right? Just tell Turtle, be like, it's the three of them, because we only really have to identify them.
Yeah, that's true. That's fine too. We still following the same game plan of like try to get inconsistencies and get out without a fight.
I should point out, based off of how it was explained to you, you can you do have that option according to the contract that you were given of identifying the Red Lotus. However, if you are incorrect, that will be considered a failure of the contract. So, like, if you guess incorrectly, that still counts as a failure. I just like to point that out.
Sick.
What? Okay, hear me out. We throw all three of them under the bus, but only one of them is the killer.
Does
That's
that count as
still
a win?
failure
Yeah,
that we
does that-
fucked
does
the
that
other
count as a
two
win?
over.
I think that counts.
As
well,
long as the red lotus is included in those identified, it would.
well,
count.
then just blow the fucking train
The
up.
other
What the
two.
What the fuck?
No, okay. So I think we go with this. I think we try to get a accidental incrimination and not start a fight. The I guess question is then, if we are following this plan, do we want to bring Eater into this?
I think we should.
I mean, for backup, yeah. Like
Okay.
you said, he can just chill in the background with you.
I think for as much as Lily and Axel knows, I think it would still be competent enough to ask him.
Yeah, to bring him. Okay, yeah, I would go off the logistics of like, we're sitting here talking about this in character. I would give the logistic of like, okay, let's get Eater. Let's let him know to back us up, and that we are not 100% sure. We're going off of a hunch, and some like educated info and trying to get confirmation.
And genuinely, like I said, we get nothing from this. And come tomorrow, we
might just have to raid. We might just have to pillage.
Yeah, and then be like, hey, Noir, spit some acid on him, fucking do something.
Yeah, open up the fight with some fucking nonsense shenanigans and just
try to and then it's like, and then fuck it, we managed to defeat 3 of them, and then give I don't well no, because if we give Turtle the wrong name, that's a failure.
It's fine. I think we'll worry about post plans afterward.
Oh wait, no, but we have like a check-in buffer. I would also suggest while you're talking, maybe mana sense it to see if you can get some of the same. I forget what Vera's is, but some of the same feeling that's afflicting buffer from any of the 3.
Yeah.
And then if God willing, we get like a nat 20 and God is kind and he's like, Ilsa vibes like this, then we only have to say Ilsa. But then the turtle be like, fucking Moses and Joseph are in on it. So.
Oh man.
Throw them all. There's a blessed either way. Sure.
And then we just kill Turtle and call it a day.
Oh.
We'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that later.
Fuck that guy. He fucked us over. What do you mean?
No, we'll worry about that later.
I think if he can blow up a train, he can blow up us.
Okay, are we all in agreement to attempt this?
This is our best plan.
Okay,
of action.
yeah, I think this is as good as it's gonna get, to be honest. I don't think it gets
so
much
your
better.
First step is to get Sergeant Eater. Is that correct?
Yeah, step 1 is to talk to him and be like, "Yo, bro." Or I guess we can play out the conversation if you would like.
No, that's fine. As soon as you tell Sergeant Eater that you guys will back up, he takes his sword, he looks excited and ready, like he's eager to actually do something that matters.
What is our code word? Because we need a code word for Vera to be like, "Jump the fuck in here." I'm always a big fan of pineapples, and pineapple's a great code word. What are the odds you bring up pineapples in this conversation? You know what I mean?
No, we have a variety of fruit juices.
Metagaming God. It turns out we only have pineapple juice. Would you like some pineapple juice?
Fuck it in there! Say pineapple, bitch!
Say pineapple juice if you would like some pineapple juice.
No, I don't want any of that flavor of juice.
What flavor of juice?
The
The tropical fruit that's point.
All
Yeah,
right.
if you hear me say, by any chance, do you have any pineapple juice in here?
Alright, Eater, come with us.
Yeah. Where do you want Eater? Do you want him like?
I was like, I'm waiting by the door, watching Lily for the signal.
I am okay. So yeah, we can do that actually. With the we don't know anything. I'll probably just stick to what's it called, Radiant, since I haven't changed it just for the sake of it. Lily, Nor will stay here because cat shit. So I imagine the footsteps are a bit quieter. And Lily can go ahead and be the sign giver since she's the one that has to least.
I guess she can just fucking insta communicate with Noir, huh?
Yeah. So, this can be our setup. If anything else, maybe Axel and Sergeant Eater can be up one more. But I don't know if they have to be like out of sight or something.
It's up to you. It's just a question of where you want to try
As
to.
long as I can see Lily. So if I can see Lily from here, I'll be like my one step forward.
Okay. Vera, do you knock on the door?
Yes, sir, I do.
Actually, I will start. I want to specify. I'm going to start hiding behind the door, so that if they poke out and try to look for anybody, they don't see me.
Okay.
And then I will walk out once I see that Vera has gone in. I'm taking precautions, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Ilsa's voice that answers and says, "Yes, hello."
Yes, Miss Lieberman, it's me, Vera. I have a few more questions I'd like to ask you if you don't mind.
All right, certainly. The door unlocks and opens.
Great. I fucking stabbed Joseph.
Pineapple, pineapple, pineapple!
Oh god, I'm on top of Joseph. Panicking. Pineapple. Okay. Great. So, it is after questioning the other I'm missing the word, individuals on the train, it's come to my attention that the last time the train stopped, Mr. Lieberman and Joseph left the train. And as we do, I'd like to get your stories on why you left the train exactly.
There you go. Well said. Well said.
Good.
Well, I had hoped to avoid having to speak about this, Moses says. But I understand you're trying to cross all your T's and dot your I's. I did instruct Joseph yesterday to leave the train to go to the garrison. Your company investigated the garrison. I suppose you saw the Inenlux cage at its top where the fuel is stored.
In a lot.
Damn, he
How the
did.
fuck do you spell that, Hudson?
He did go to the
Yeah,
garrison.
At the top of the
Okay.
floor. He's talking about what was on the top of the floor, right? He said the cage.
Yes, he did say the Inenlux cage.
How the fuck do you spell that, Hudson?
I
put it
just
in
put
there.
it in the chat.
Ooh, looks.
The first one is an I, so it's Inenlux. It's capitalized though. It is a proper noun. He says, Joseph informed me that he wasn't entirely sure if it was fully intact or not, the cage. And as a member of the commission, well, you may or may not be aware, but Inenlux is a restricted material, very heavily regulated by the commission. We wanted to make sure, I wanted to make sure that it was fully intact. When he came back and told me that he wasn't entirely sure if it was fully intact or not, I went out with him to investigate. I was satisfied that it was, in fact, fully accounted for and no pieces were broken off.
Okay, so he's talking about how the cage was like weirdly green, right?
I don't know. I mean,
Come on,
you can
God.
make whatever assumptions you want.
Fine, fuck it. I'll ask him.
Are you the Lotus?
Yeah. How do you feel about stealing spirit mana, huh?
Medicines.
Right. Fine, fuck it. Oh, actually, that's right, mana sense. Can I roll for mana sense, Hudson?
Sure.
I'm worried about this. Oh, I'm very worried about this.
What do you mean? They won't be able to tell that I'm doing this, right?
I don't know. They're strong people. There's a high likelihood they can.
It's fine. I can't even sense shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right.
There's mana coming from each of them, but nothing special.
Fucking fantastic. Right, and this Alex, as you called it, it was the mysterious green substance at the top of the tower.
Yes, that's correct. It's where they store the fuel crystals for the train.
Okay. Okay, great. This is a solid alibi. Fuck. On the train, and the garrison members, they were all gone by the time you got there, correct?
Well, correct. I mean, we arrived after you had all left already, and done the initial investigation.
Hmm. Did he mention how he knew there were intellects at the top of that tower? He didn't, right?
No.
And if I may ask, how exactly did you know that there was intellects at the top of the tower? I assume the commission keeps track of these things, possibly.
Yes. I suppose to be fair, I didn't know for certain. However, if it's a fueling depot, uh, it's standard for fueling depots to be equipped with such a cage. It's to keep the mana from attracting monsters. You understand?
Mhm. Son of a bitch. It's a solid fucking alibi. Mm.
I'm not
Alright.
gonna metagame this.
Oh, what did you say?
Nothing. I'll be a
Um,
good boy.
Mm. Let's see.
Do you have any other questions, Miss Vera?
Vera's just standing there silently. um, yes, you did notice anything suspicious on your way back? Yes? No suspicious individuals?
He looks over at Joseph, who shakes his head, and he says, "No, no, we didn't see anyone on the way back.
Okay. Neither
Hey.
of you encountered anyone at all?
No."
Hmm. Alright,
Well,
well,
God, can I ask a question for my own sake? How long did the kids say that they were gone for? Like, what was kind of their time frame for that?
They didn't really give like specific. They gave more the order as opposed to like they didn't
Like
give
actual
specific
times?
times.
Okay.
Um, I mean, you got the sense like probably no more than an hour or two.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I won't. Yeah.
alright.
I want to gaslight them so bad.
How long was it to get to the garrison?
30 minutes?
No, the garrison was like right next to the train. It
Oh,
wouldn't have
it
taken
was
them that long
close.
to
That's
get
right. It was close. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just 30 minutes.
Alright, well. That is all the questions I have for right now. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
there. Of course, anything to help you guys out. Joseph opens the lock and opens the door, stands aside.
Hear me out, Hudson. One more final mana sense. Let me have something.
Vera attempts to sense their mana as Joseph closes the door, sensing nothing more than she sensed before.
Fuck! Alright. Well, I just quietly open this door, make my way in. How are you standing?
Axel just shakes his head no and starts walking this direction. We are not gonna talk. Axel's not gonna fucking talk in that room. You are on crack cocaine, my friend.
Oh my god, you are so fucking right.
Wow, that was. Whew.
Oh my god.
Peter sits down kind of
Noted.
heavily. He looks disappointed.
Nara's gonna keep watch.
Yeah.
Alright.
Axel pops a squad. All right, Vera. That's the verdict. I didn't hear a pineapple, sadly.
Yeah, you guys want me to recount this roleplay style?
That's fine. We can say you describe the thing.
Fantastic. Yeah, Bear just tells
okay.
you everything.
Did they say why they had to do that? Because I feel like they just chose to do this for funsies.
Well, he mentioned it's a commission thing, and that they keep track of this kind of shit. Stuff.
So
Right.
he said it's a commission thing, and that they just
And we were like,
keep
"Oh, that's
track
cool."
of, and they just keep track of it. So they had to go inspect this thing that, according to what they said, they didn't even know if it was for sure there or not.
Well, they also mentioned that the garrisons, they just keep this. Like they usually have the Intelux cages with that's where they store the fuel crystals. And I asked if if this is on their radar, if
Uh-huh.
that they just automatically know about this stuff, and he confirmed that. So the commission just tracks this stuff.
And did he acknowledge that it had nothing in it?
No,
My dear Vera, what we need to do when we press people is gaslight them. Okay.
My God.
So next, we're gonna go back to them.
If
I'm
I
gonna
can
be fucking
interject.
real.
Yeah, go ahead.
My role-playing abilities are not that capable. You're.
Sergeant Eater speaks up. He says, I mean, I'm not a big mage type, but I do have a little bit of education. Enun Lux is a very valuable material, like a lot more valuable than the fuel. That's probably why he wouldn't have cared about the fuel, but it does seem reasonable to me that he might have cared about the Enun Lux.
Okay.
I mean, it's
And-
really valuable. He's not lying. It is like they keep pretty close track of it.
Thank you, God.
Noir is gonna once again be doing catch it, and he's gonna.
Noir solo mission.
Oh, here it is.
Go Noir!
He's gonna listen to their
Okay.
conversations.
Sure, you can make a perception check.
Oh, please.
Roll
this
high,
is...
Noir.
Middle of the road.
With an 11, there is
Walls are thin,
conversation
baby.
going on. You can't really make out any of the words. The intonations are like just kind of standard. They aren't like stressed out or anything like that. Just kind of standard talking.
He's gonna stay there.
Okay.
I mean,
He's
if
gonna
you
sit
guys have
his ass
anything
right
else
there.
you'd like me to press them about, I'm all ears.
I
Going
mean,
into this, I just wanted to hear their alibi and come back to you guys and see if we could pick it apart.
yeah.
No, I agree, but when questioning people, and this is nothing on you, you're not a detective. Not that I say that out loud, but it could have helped out, and maybe been for the better if we didn't give them information that we don't know they had. For example, saying that there was nobody at the garrison and then him agreeing. Could have been like, well, did you meet the guard there?
Yeah, you could have baited him and saying like,
Could have
"Oh,
baited
did you
him a
meet the
bit.
guy?"
Gaslit him a little bit.
Yeah,
But being like, oh, but you didn't see anybody there, and then they're like, oh yeah, we didn't see anybody.
If we do get another chance, also try not to take everything they say at face value and kind of question it. So he's like, "Yeah, we had to go check this." It's like, why did you have to check it? Which we now know because it's valuable, but we didn't really understand that in the beginning. So he has a little more reason to now. Anyway, long story short, I suppose we can try to. I just don't know how to question Rachel about anything. I mean, as much as I don't want it to be her, I'm fully understanding. But
I think same thing. I can take a lead on this one since I questioned her earlier, and ask her where she was at this time. We haven't asked anybody because we've been withholding that information. Ask her what the fuck was up with that, Chief. And see what she says, and then maybe come back to these fine folk.
yeah, we can try. I think more than likely you're gonna get the. I was
The
in
whatever fuck it was.
Axel's
I don't-
room.
Yeah. Fuck it would be, but just in case.
No, yeah, I mean it's always
Covering
worth a
bases.
shot. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
they're all in here.
Hey everyone.
Yeah.
I was dragging you guys back because I assumed
yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
do this next.
already.
Oh man.
Sergeant Eater will head on. He'll go first and he heads back to the cart to avoid suspicion.
All right.
Um,
Well,
Kill them all four.
I will stay in here and kind of ponder at least what this conversation, what they said, and see if I can find any holes in it.
Alright,
I'll
so what
let you do your thing.
have we got so far? So Rachel went out to investigate the body?
Literally just what we need to know. because Michael saw this body, presumably, which means Rachel had to kill the person before Michael came back. So we just need to know what Rachel was doing between when I left the room and she argued with Irina.
Okay, beautiful metagame strategy. Where's Nor? There we go.
I was like, that's all we need to know is what she was doing between me leaving the room and her arguing with Irina.
Hold on, just opening doors for the sake of...
Oh, did I not drag Noir?
No, I was doing catch it.
Oh, right. In the meantime, the brief time that Noir was there, he didn't hear anything suspicious.
Okay, I will be... So go to my room, right? The room that I'm staying in, Fetterman's room, or whatever his name was. No, to Axel and Vera. Nor will be with you. That way you can listen and either... We have paper from Stark now, that's for sure. And write something on a paper that you would like me to ask, and that way I'll see it and can ask her. So we can...
That's an interesting idea.
We can metagame this so all three of our brains will work together.
How would this help us hear what he says?
You'll be in the room next to mine, or next to her.
I mean, if you're listening,
you're putting us in Enoch Fetterman's
I'm putting
room.
both of you. Yeah.
I thought you said you were going to your room, and I was like, I don't see how this makes any sense, but okay. But I'm there now.
I would be going to your room. You two would be.
I got you.
We have paper now from Stark, so you guys can. You don't even have to say it, but you can write it. Show it to Noir.
I was like, Axel will close the dead guy's room whenever he walks by.
Yeah. And then
to keep up appearances, Noir will be with me, and then we'll head into the room, and that will be the plan. Is that viable?
Wait, so
yes, sir.
Is Nor gonna come back to us? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But just leave doing cat
if
shit.
It would be weird if Lily came with no Noir.
Yeah, agreed.
So I knock on Axel's door.
Hello? Yes?
Bonjour, mademoiselle. It is Lily once again.
Oh, okay. Rachel opens up the door and sits down.
Perfect. I gesture to Noir to do the same thing he did before, but this time he very softly goes to the other room. I guess you guys would be pressed up to the door, and Noir would be on the far side, since Noir doesn't really need to...
Is the investigation going all right?
Yes, some new information has been found out, and just once again, going through the checkboxes, asking everybody the same usual stuff. It appears there was a event of sorts where you left the train, and I was wondering what happened in the time where you were no longer on the train.
Oh, sure. I thought I mentioned, maybe I didn't. But yeah, yesterday I got into a bit of a argument with Irina. This was in the cart to the left, the waiting cart. I got pretty upset, and like I think I mentioned this, I didn't feel very safe. So I left the train. To be honest, it was kind of stupid looking back on it. I don't know what's out there outside, but I needed to get some fresh air. We've been cooped up in this damn train for so long. I just had to get I had to like walk and clear my mind. Yeah, it was a fairly pleasant day outside. But yeah.
Was it a fairly pleasant day?
What's that?
She lying?
Fairly pleasant.
No, when you guys were outside, it was nice and sunny, a solid like 60 to 70 degrees. It was a pleasant day.
All right.
Checks out so far.
But yeah, I mean, I sat down at a certain point, and I just was looking, cloud watching basically. Nothing terribly exciting. That was obviously until I heard Irina scream. This was, I don't know, maybe an hour. I don't know. It was later. I don't know how long I was outside. And I came running, and Sergeant Eater was there with Irina, and there was a body. I assume one of them must have told you about this. I think Eater said that he would.
Yes, but better to talk with you about it.
Sure. I mean, I can't really say that much about the body. I didn't really get a good look.
Of course. During the time when you left, how far away from the train did you go?
Not too far. I don't know, maybe 200 feet. I was out of sight of the train. It was like all across this little hill. I was on the other side of the hill. Um, but yeah, not too far though.
Mhm. In this moment, you did not hear any sounds of animals or perhaps the screaming of the body.
No.
Hmm. I'd like to make an insight check.
Okay. I can insert check.
I'll say, presumably, if our story's accurate, she wouldn't have heard it at that point, right? Like,
Yeah,
the body would have been dead if we're presuming our story is a person would have been dead.
Yeah, Rachel, somewhat hard to read.
Yeah.
You're not sure.
Hmm. All right. And a Schneep Schmop.
True.
Great. What happened in the span of the 2 seconds I was gone?
Nothing yet.
I just
Axel does write on the paper. Don't forget to write about or ask about the time in between me leaving and her leaving, or her arguing rather.
Good point. This is why we have more around. In the time that Axel left, what were you kind of up to?
You mean yesterday, I assume you're talking about.
Correct. Right?
Okay.
Is that the question you want me to ask?
Yeah, just the time between me leaving and because that's when she would have had to have killed the person.
Yeah.
If the story lines up.
I stayed in the room. I was kind of thinking about things. That's why I went, once I gathered my thoughts together, that's when I went to confront Irina.
All right. Fucking bitches with their good fucking talks.
This is what we presumed, but
Yeah, it's hard to poke holes in something that just might have happened. Um,
I write on the paper. Did she happen to run into anyone like leaving the room or anything like that? And I put like in little parentheses like worded as if to find other suspects, right? Like making it seem like we're not assuming it's her. So did she see anyone suspicious like in that time? Like was there anyone walking around the cabins by themselves or anything like that? Really trying to find someone that can confirm she was there.
Yeah. So in the times that you left and had your argument, was anybody acting suspicious and or out of the cabin?
She looks like she's in thought for a moment. Actually, you can't see right now. Never mind. She says, well, I think I recall when I was leaving the cart, I think I remember seeing Michael walking back inside or something.
Fuck.
But yeah, other than that, I didn't see anyone in particular. I didn't hear anything either. Yeah, from inside here at least.
Taken into account what might have happened to poor Michael,
It does make sense for Michael to walk back to his room at that time frame.
is there anybody that you might suspect of foul play?
I mean, like I said, Miss Lee, I really don't know. It's hard for me to imagine like someone just killing. I mean, he didn't seem like the nicest guy in the world, but he didn't seem like he didn't deserve to die. That's for sure. It's hard for me to imagine that someone would just kill him like that.
Well, at least everything checks out. There's no inconsistencies.
I think her mentioning Michael's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You fucking did it, you bitch. Just tell me.
Hudson, would I be able to mana sense from here?
Sure.
What?
Thin walls, baby, but not thin enough.
2 walls is not thin wall. The great crux of any.
Were you gonna roll the mana sense check? Oh, rip, Marissa.
Might be gone with the wind.
Big dead.
I suppose if you guys are stumped right now, we can end the session here and give you guys some time to think if you'd like.